shit is almost perfect. It's so good, I'm just gonna leave it. BB and Jack Frost, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Hey, yo, check this out. So I woke up today. I said, you know what? Today is the day. All of the things is gonna happen. All of the things. I said, Lord, I didn't actually say this morning, but just so we could be clear, I talk to God all day, every day, whether you know it or not. Sometimes, obviously, I'm like, talking to the Most High, asking for direction, if not anything else, because that's really what we're supposed to be asking for. We're not supposed to be like, Lord, give me all the monies. We're supposed to be asking for direction. We're supposed to be asking for comprehension. We're supposed to be asking for, if not anything else, better understanding of oneself, right? So that's what we're supposed to be trying to get in contact with the Most High about. And in order for us to be able to work out and be able to manifest our own lives and be able to get to the things that He intends for us to have. So with that being said, so I wakes up. I wake up every day thinking about the Most High. So I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna make all of the things happen. So the first thing I need to do is we need to come to the community, and I need to say this to the community. You guys, I love you. I love you when you show up. I love you when you don't chat. I love you when you do chat. I love you when you hit the like button. I love you when you hit the don't like button. I love you when you hit no button and you just be sitting up in here like you don't have the fucking mic on and know what the fuck I'm saying. I love you at all times. I love you when you're being assholes. I love you when you're not being assholes. Better, but I still love you. This is what to let y'all know. I love you guys. I love the fact that I do this. This is not something that everybody gets the opportunity to do. I'm so blessed. Thank you to the Most High. I have all types of different bullshit that I got to do with. I'm going to deal with it a lot better. But I definitely love the fact that I have the opportunity to even deal with these kind of situations, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing this. So it comes with the game. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about Fani Willis. Is it Fani Willis or Fani Willis? I'm not what are you talking about, Willis? I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to be talking about her. And just so we can be clear, was she bluffing? Listen, see, this is what I be trying to explain to people. People say, yo, Jack, he don't know what he be talking about. He be talking in circles. I be like, nah. I don't be wanting to say certain things because I realize when I tell y'all what's going to happen some of the times, it backfires and niggas be mad at me thinking I be wishing bad on people. So, so I don't tell y'all when I think something is going to happen bad all the time. And some things I always mention because I just don't want to deal with that bullshit every day. You feel me? Like, I don't be wishing bad on anybody. I just like for people to be as well informed as possible. And it is what it is. So, do y'all remember when we were speaking and I said, they're turning up the heat on Young Thug? Anybody remember that? I just want to ask. We're going to be discussing that, just so we can be clear. Boom. Alright, and there's a thing that I want to show you. I want to show y'all this right now. Because I want to explain to y'all just how crazy it is out here. Listen when I tell you this. We have to be under the understanding that even small altercations can take a motherfucker's life. You don't know what a nigga dealing with. You don't know what a person is going through. You don't know what kind of past injuries they might have. You don't fucking know. Okay? So when we go out there and we just assume that we're going to do some shit or get involved in some unnecessary shit, we have to understand there's a real big chance that the ultimate consequence can be paid. Now listen and look. This has no audio, right? Alright, good. Let me all the way rewind it. These are just some teens. Just some teens. Doing what they consider to be having fun, being tough. Just some teens. There you go. Look how the camera just tracked them all the way till they got home. Why shouldn't I tell you what happened though? That cab driver, he died. Yeah. They tracked him all the way to their doorstep. That cab driver, he died. He might have just fell and hit his head right there and got a hematoma. So now you see these kids right here? Yeah, they wanted for murder. These kids. Kids. I don't know which part of this is the most tragic. We're gonna do a roll call at the 7-minute mark, at the 8-minute mark. I don't know what part of this is most tragic myself, just so we can be clear. First, I don't even know why he was attacking that man. He was a cab driver. I don't know why he was attacking him. There's no context, just so we can be clear. As far as I know, he could have did something. What the fuck do I know? There's no context. So I just want to be clear on that. But we have a problem just in general where our kids ain't kids. Because I remember being 14, 13, 12, all of them ages, and the streets being dangerous, but we were still doing kid shit. You had a couple of kids that wasn't doing kid shit, but the majority of us were still doing kid shit. Playing sports. Doing manhunt. Just doing kid shit. Our youth don't do kid shit no more. Our youth don't have youth. They don't have childhoods. How can you be an appropriate adult if you've never had a childhood? And that's not to be disrespectful to the many of us that didn't really have a childhood. I've had one, don't get it confused. But these kids these days don't got no childhood. My condolences goes out to the cab driver's family, and for every single person involved, my heart goes out to every single person involved. Those children also, they didn't know what they did. They could. There's no way that they could have understood the ramifications of their actions. There's no way. All right, let's get to the show. Fani Willis. I want to ask y'all a question. Do y'all think she was bluffing? Let's do roll call. I want to know if y'all think Fani Willis was bluffing. Shout out to Blizz Lanes. He says, good morning, Froze, BBN community. Good morning to you, concert. What up, Cedric O'Main. He says, good morning. God bless. God bless to you. What up, K Days? He says, damn. Listen, pay attention. I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I don't want there to be many miscomprehension. I want to be extremely palatable. I want you to be able to accept what I'm saying. Listen. She said 60 days. I think that 60 days was she was putting somebody else on the clock. I think that there's people that she could take down, yes. But I 100% think that was a fucking clock that she put on Young Thug to give them something that they want. And it might be a different rapper in a different city. We don't know. The reason why I think this, listen, pay attention. Can we talk about a different case real quick? We're going to talk about two different cases real quick. Do you remember the Treyway Tekashi 6ix9ine case. Do you remember when there was about to give Tekashi 6ix9ine his sentencing, and all of a sudden the video popped up on TMZ of him doing a hit? That was somebody else trying to force the government's hand to rescind the deal that they had already made with Tekashi 6ix9ine. You understand what I'm saying? Because remember, the 5K1 or 51K, I forgot what you call it, 5K1, basically what it's saying is that I told you all the crimes that I committed. And if they find out that you was hiding something, then they could rescind it, and they don't have to, because at the end of the day, it's still when you get there what they decide they want to do with you. I'm going to explain another time in which it was used in the way in which it's being, because that's the counter way. You understand what I'm saying? The reason why I keep pointing that out is because that's how it was being used against Tekashi 6ix9ine, not even by the government, but by somebody else. And the government didn't take the bait. I'm pointing out that even if the government finds out something new, they don't have to charge you with it if they don't feel like it. They don't have to charge you with any crimes that they don't feel like fucking charging you for, that somebody isn't out there up their ass about. You understand? So listen, when Casanova was locked up and they was trying to get him to talk and he was refusing to talk, what did they do? They started all of a sudden coming up with new charges. Guess who told you they was going to do that before they did it? So now, I'm assuming there was another threat made to Casanova where he just decided to take the deal. I'm assuming the threat was probably made to him to bring somebody into the shit that he can't have brought into the matter. Because that's the next thing that they also do. That's why I keep trying to tell you, I think Casanova just took the deal to save, like, somebody else from being pulled into the bullshit. Shout out to the Art of D Glass. He says, good morning, family. Salute. Salute. So listen, pay attention. She says 60 days. 30 days passed. And what happened after 30 days passed? All of a sudden, we get new shit dropping on Young Thug. Why? This is before this new shit that just dropped. Remember? We all of a sudden, after 30 days, the halfway point, we start getting new shit about Young Thug. Tell me where the lie at. So after 30 days, the DA office or whoever the motherfucker just start leaking shit? Tell me where the lie at. Mama told y'all, I don't think they want Young Thug to take a deal. Of course they don't want a person that has as much information as Young Thug to just take a deal. They want to work the motherfucker. Shout out to Mike Jones. The government gave them until the beginning of the year. Because that's when the trap starts. Pay attention. People don't be wanting me to talk about this shit, right? But with all truth be told, I be on point and I be telling people about what's going to happen before it happens. And if you really pay attention to what I be saying, literally, I be telling you the exact way that these motherfuckers operate over and over and over again. So that's why I be like, if somebody want to nitpick something and I might be wrong about a little thing over here, wrong about a little thing over there, so that means I'm wrong about everything, I got to look at you sideways. I got to look at you sideways. I've been right about too much shit. I've been accurate about the Most High. Shout out to the Most High, man. Just because. He's given us all things. All of us. Just find the thing that he's given you. And then when you do use that thing that he's given you, you live it in his word. Like, we all have gifts. If you go use that gift that he's given you, then you're walking in his word. You understand? How can you be walking in his word if you're not using the gift that he's given you? That's why I'm trying to tell you. That's how you can find out who's good for you and who isn't. If God has given you a gift and you're using that gift, and there's people trying to prevent you from using that gift, that's always gonna be Satan. If there's people that's trying to help you use that gift, that's always gonna be somebody that the Most High sent. That's always gonna be that Most High godly energy. You understand what I'm saying? That's a fact. But find out what you're good at. If you're avoiding whatever your calling is, that means you're not walking in the word that the Most High meant for you. You're not walking in His word. He has a calling for you. Gotta get to it. I don't know what it is. Go find out what it is. Maybe you're supposed to be a boat builder. What the fuck do I know? Noah. I shouldn't have said the Noah. I shouldn't have explained the joke. I shouldn't explain the joke. Next time I'm not going to explain it. Sometimes I don't explain the jokes and y'all just be thinking I'm rambling. So I got to explain some of these fucking jokes. So I don't think I just be rambling. I don't be rambling sometimes. I just be telling a joke. Alright, let's get back to it. We have less than 15 days. I'm not even sure how many days we have. We got less than 15 days, right? I mean, somebody came in here one day and said something about how many days it was. Maybe it's longer than I thought. Maybe I'm off. My timing could be off. I'm not 100% sure when she said it. Somebody came in here one day and said there's 15 days left. They could have been lying. They could have been lying. I was not counting the days. I just want to be clear on this. But I do think that is what's happening. They want Young Thug to give them some information, and that information might not even pertain to anything that got to do with this case. Because it looks like a slam dunk, with all due respect to all the people that love him and want him to be free. It looks like a slam dunk. Either somebody did an incredible job of framing him, or he was involved in some of these things that they're accusing him of. At least that's the optics. With all due respect, I'm not, I can't, you don't never know. So, when I was a kid, a lot of my family members spent a lot of time out of state, and I didn't understand why. I knew nothing about the drug game, nothing about nothing, right? So I just have family members that at certain times of the year, they'll be gone, and then they'll be calling back to the crib, and they'll be in this state, or they'll be in that state, or whatever the case is, right? Or I'll just hear about it. Like when I was a kid, I would just hear about it. They come back and they tell the stories. And when I moved in with my stepmother in Concourse Village, they call her back from out of town, whatever the case is, right? I had a better understanding of what was going on then. But anyway, so that gave me a real quick realization of you don't never know who a person is, because one of the dopest lines that Drake ever said, he actually changed up, and he used it to talk about his son. I mean, not Drake, Pusha T. And he basically said, you're hiding your son from the world. There's a basic saying, basically saying that I'm not hiding from the world, I'm hiding the world. Pardon me, I'm not scared of the world, that the world harming me. I'm scared of harming the world. So there's a saying that basically says, I'm not hiding from the world, I'm hiding the world from me, or something along those lines, right? So what you have to understand is that you don't really never know. So we don't know what's going on with Young Thug. We don't know what kind of energy. We know what his music says. We know how he carries himself. And the explanation for how the paperwork came out public makes sense. Discovery was given to inmates. Inmates took pictures of the discovery and then texted it to people. And then it became public. I guess the only fear of that is, at what point are there going to be people that's going to be locked up that's going to fake shit like that? So there's always a fear of that, just so we can be clear. So, and just so we can be clear, this is bad for everyone. Like, whoever did that, like, that's not helping you. And the lawyer that said that is factual. Remember, Young Thug's lawyer winning at any aspect of this helps everyone. Why would you... Why would you dirty the jury pool by putting actual evidence out there that's going to be used against you in the court of law without your lawyer being able to add context to defend it? Like, it don't make sense. You understand? So, I'm trying to be mindful with my words, so pardon me. So, these dudes are fighting a no-win battle. I want to be clear about this. They're not going to win this. They're not going to win this for so many different reasons. I can't even... They're not going to win this for reasons that don't got shit to do with the fucking evidence. How about that? They're not going to win this for... There's so many different reasons why they're going to lose this. This Fani Willis, she's about to be catapulted into political stardom. There is so many reasons why they're going to lose this. Let me turn this shit off. I'm going to say that again. Fani Willis is about to be catapulted into political stardom. There is so many reasons why they're going to lose this, independent of whatever the evidence is. They've been waiting. I think ever since that other mayor bounced, they've been waiting. Pay attention. Look, okay, so you in the office. Hold on, let's stop everything. You in the office and you in political office, district attorney. That's a political office. You're in a political office, right? That means that you got to make things happen because you have to do better than your predecessor. There's a person that came before you and had this seat before you. You have to do better than them. So that means that you have to actively be going out there and trying to do things that's going to make yourself look good. So when this fucking case fell into her lap, you probably know how happy she was. This is a political office. This is a seat. She has one of those seats that people call her up and ask for favors. I say shit and I get it. I could be coarse. I could be a little difficult. I could be really difficult. But in reality, I'm just being froze. I say what's up to Mike Jones. He says BBN. All right. Let's see what else we talking about this particular thing. I had something else I want to say about this shit. Let's talk about the snitching niggas real quick. I want to say something. Pay attention. I keep telling y'all this. These niggas don't just be having snitches. They have plans. They have somebody whose job it is to get close to you and then convince you to commit crimes. I'm going to say that again. These dudes don't only have snitches. They have plans. They have guys whose job it is to get close to you, and then and then they're supposed to talk to you and get you to commit crimes. And I keep telling y'all this, and I want you to pay attention. A lot of these niggas, they get them from juvenile. They get them when they're juveniles. A lot of these niggas, they get them when they're juveniles. They flip them then. Now you a snitch. You gotta be a snitch for us forever. We gonna tell the streets and they gonna kill you. That's it. He gonna be talking forever because he can't let the streets know. Keep telling y'all. Y'all niggas don't be trusting the niggas that didn't get arrested. Y'all should be a little bit leery at some of them niggas that, you know, had a hard time in juvenile. In juvie, them niggas, you should be concerned about that. Them niggas that needed, niggas had a hard time there, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm not gonna keep saying this shit. I know niggas ain't paying me no attention, but I'm not gonna keep saying this shit, man. Keep looking at the niggas that y'all find out to be snitches, man. Why so many of these niggas been getting arrested since they was kids? Explain that shit to me. I'm here. Explain that shit to me. Why so many of these niggas that turn out to be snitches been getting arrested since they was kids? Not all of them, obviously. But why so many? You always hear about them getting arrested around when they were 17 years old. Why? Anyway. I don't want people to get snitched on. I don't want people to commit the crime. I want us to treat each other civilly. I don't want us being out here and treating each other in a manner in which even violence even has to occur. Some people don't got off switches. Let's just try to treat people like humans. Let's do that. Copy. I'll check out the Joey Badass interview today. That's a fact. What up, Tooms? And I think that's just, I just understand that, man. Some people don't got off switches. You busy thinking that you walking on eggshells. In reality, they feel like they walking on eggshells. You think you walking on eggshells. In reality, that's how they feel. What up, Contrarian Chronicles? What up, Contrarian? How you doing? How's everybody doing today? I'm hoping everybody's having all the biggest fun. Gotta make these things happen, man. You don't never know nowadays. You don't never know nowadays. Also, don't forget we have a BBN shop. The best way to support the channel is in the BBN shop. That's the best way. You can do drops if you want. I don't care. But the best way to support the channel is the watch the show, Rat Bastards, and hit the like button. And obviously, straight donations is dope also. You understand what I'm saying? Obviously. Obviously. You know what I'm saying? But the BBN shop, because the merch is flying. I gotta get y'all guys a code. I'm gonna get y'all guys a passcode. I gotta go get y'all guys a passcode. I'm gonna get y'all guys a passcode. Get everybody like 10% off or some shit. Let's get a 10% off code for like the next month or so. I'm gonna get a 10% off code. And get a 10% off code for everybody. For real, for real. Yes, go cop some of that merch. Yo, so I don't know if you guys are buying it or if they're buying it because the other platforms. I have no idea. But I am pumped. I don't know where the sales is actually coming from. Usually when it comes from Instagram, I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm reading my fucking I don't know if I'm reading the damn links right. Shout out to this link down below, man. I'm gonna try to get a 10% coupon ready for everybody. Shout out to the Contrary Chronicles with the $10 drop. He says, "Stay up, brother." I want to talk about wrestling for 2 seconds in a second. Shout out to you, my brother. Who's next? Pulling all blessings down from the heavens. I want to say something real quick. That Hulk Hogan shit like this, and that Hulk Hogan when you hit him, you do know that that's Bruce Banner turning into the Incredible Hulk. You literally know that what his shit was, right? You know that that's what his shit was, right? He was literally the Incredible Hulk. That's why when you hit Hulk Hogan, he start doing that shit. That's when he's changing. And then you hit him, he's just like that. That's when he's fully changed. Yo, when I realized that what was going on, I was like, wrestling, nigga. When I realized I think I realized that shit was probably in my late teens. When I realized that that's what Hulk Hogan was doing, I said, now I get the big foot. Now I get the clothesline. Now I get the leg drop. Now I get it. Wrestling back in the day was just better. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Wrestling back in the day was just better. Is this the right brush? Yeah, it's the right brush. Wrestling back in the day was just better. I don't know what anybody to say. I don't have anything to say about that. I don't know what y'all talking about. Anyway, let's get back to it. Listen and pay attention. I want to be clear on this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I told y'all before, he cannot snitch. On his game. He's the top. They're letting it be known. He's the 100% top. He can't snitch. The only people he could snitch on is people who are in complimentary or higher positions. That's it. So I say all that to say this. There's a lot of rappers that got low. Why? Why did rappers start using various different reasons to get off of social media? Why they start getting low? Why they started all being philanthropists? Shout out to Gunna. He has a whole supermarket that send kids home with food in his school he went to. That's some of the realest shit, my nigga. For real, for real. He started the shit, I think, somewhere between 6 to 8 months ago. They started it. He knew what was coming down the pipeline. When they know these niggas is coming down the pipeline, when they know they about to get fucked up, they go do a lot of community service. Sometimes that shit actually work. Depending on what these niggas want you for. If these niggas want you for some bullshit, and you go out there and you do a lot of community service, but they don't really want you for nothing, they might leave you the fuck alone. For real. And not for nothing, I commend that. Like, if I do some bullshit and it's not no real big shit, I ain't take nobody's life. I did it was like nothing like that, like nothing that's irreparable. And then I go donate a couple of $100,000 to a school or something. I think the government should look at me a little bit like, all right, he's actually more of an asset than he is he's more of a pro than a con to the community. They should look at you like that. But I mean, you can't be having bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. So yeah, for all the people to be like, yo, that's preferential treatment. Nah. First of all, just in my opinion, these guys do a lot for the Atlanta area. Just so we can be clear. They do a lot for the Atlanta area. I'm not trying to excuse any bad behavior, but they do a lot for their community. There's people from Coney Island. I would love to see the people that's from Coney Island pull up. At least if you from, like, I'm like, okay, so no disrespect. This is no disrespect. But when you go to Harlem, people that's from Harlem that made it, they come back nowadays and do shit for the community. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm at in the Bronx, for a long time, we wasn't doing that. That's why I give so much shout out to Jose, to our previous Bronx Borough president, Ruben Diaz Jr., because Ruben Diaz Jr. brought that shit back. Ruben Diaz Jr. started making it more available. So maybe it ain't the people that made it out of Coney Island. And I'm pretty sure they come back from here to there. There's basketball courts everywhere. And I know for a fact, Steph Marbury, I heard at least, he put up a lot of courts over here and stuff. And it's beautiful. Like, not for nothing, I'm going to say something. Like, not for nothing, they got, like, a lot of construction going on. Like, some construction going on around here. But it's beautiful, my nigga. Like, it's really, like, everywhere got their little spots. But it's, generally speaking, like, it's beautiful. Like, even for hood purposes, it's beautiful. Like, for real. It's beautiful and authentic. Just keeping it a stack with you. So, I have to commend them for whatever they're doing in that community, independent, not speaking on whatever negative things they might also be doing. I gotta commend them. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. That school, I wanna go back. Your purpose has to be bigger than yourself. But you have to get yourself right to fulfill your purpose. You know? Like, your purpose got to be bigger than yourself. But if you're not right, you can't fulfill your purpose. So your first thing is to get right. Because unless you get right, you can't fulfill your purpose. And that's why we're supposed to always attempt to have encouraging words, and that's why we're supposed to attempt. It's not always possible, but we're supposed to attempt. Tune says, I need a loner shirt. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, like, not for nothing, that shirt gets me the most looks. The yellow one specifically. Maybe because it's yellow and it's bright as shit. I don't know. But I like the gray one. DZ got the gray one. The gray one is lit. But I got the yellow and I got the orange. I need to cop some more merch. I wish I had a girlfriend so she could walk around with some fucking Icy Queen merch on. That'd be lit. That'd be lit, nigga. I'd be purchasing all the Icy. And I live near the beach too. I'm like, look, you gotta be photogenic, baby. We're gonna go on this beach. We're gonna take some of these pictures. We're gonna come back to the Photoshop. We're gonna touch these bitches up. We're gonna throw this shit straight on the internet. We're gonna go for the bag. Yeah, oh, that means you're gonna have to start stretching. You're gonna have to start working out. You ain't gonna be able to be lazy. We gonna both have to make sure that we are both finely tuned bodies. because we want people to send us clothes to put on. So we're gonna make sure we both is making sure that our bodies is finely tuned. That's crazy too, cause I don't know, being funny, just being funny, just being funny. No disrespect to anybody. I like big bottom girls, man. I don't know what to tell you. I like big bottom, small top chicks, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, don't pay me no attention. I like all females, just so we can be clear. Like, yeah, but people got their preferences. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Women be like, yo, you a colorist. And then you be like, then they'll be like, yo, look at that chocolate. You be like, what the fuck? They'll be like, what the fuck is you talking about? They be like, yo, look, you a whole colorist. And then they be like, well, why you dating white women? Wait, hold on. But you calling me a colorist, but you talking about that dude because he dating a white woman? You a colorist. Why can't he date a white woman? You must be the colorist. You're the one seeing color. He might just be seeing her heart. What the fuck? He might be seeing her color, though. He might just like white women. I don't know. Dude, she got freckles and red hair? I like freckles. We want to get back to the show. Y'all cool with us bullshitting for a little while. I just want to bullshit. It's Thursday. I want that bullshit for a little while. Also, we was gaming last night. Is there anybody trying to get on 2K with me tonight? Tonight, I'm going to try to go 2K again. I need somebody to get on 2K with me tonight. We need a squad. I think I got a couple of people I'm going to come bring with me. That kid, he was just pissing me off at the end of that last game. But we won the game. I don't like when it looks like people are holding the ball from me. Because I don't hold the ball from people, generally speaking. Unless you're just a dick. And I'm like, all right. So you're not going to acknowledge that the reason why you have your points is because I'm giving you good passes. You got to act like you're just doing it all on your own. Not a problem. With that being said, shout out to the Most High. Just because. You can't do shit without the God. I try to do something by myself, that shit is going to be terrible. That shit is going to backfire. Stuff is going to be in flames. Police is going to be getting called. I'm not even joking, to be honest with you. Fucking, there's going to be people bleeding. There's going to be kids crying. Cars flipped over. I'm not even capping. Just let God handle it, man. Because I'm gonna take it too far. So just let God handle it. I'm gonna take it too far. Just let God handle it, because I'm not gonna understand. I don't want no problems with anybody, and I love everybody. So if you got an issue with me, I don't understand it. It don't compute. I'm like, what the fuck? I look at people, when I look at people, I don't know what be wrong with people, but I look at people and I try to find the thing that's right about them. I want to see the thing in you that we can celebrate. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the thing we can celebrate. I'm looking for the thing I can compliment. So that's the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around people that I could give you that kind of energy and I don't got to feel funny. You know? That's the type of people I want to be around. I could give that kind of energy and I don't have to feel like, you know. You can't dick ride your friends. You understand? So I don't consider you my friend unless I enjoy complimenting you. If I enjoy complimenting you and you enjoy complimenting me back, I consider us friends. Because we feed each other. You understand? We pour it into each other's cup. How's everybody doing today? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Y'all got too many catchphrases. What up, Killer City Savage? I love you, my nigga. I was too hard on you and I apologize. Copy. I was too hard on you. I apologize. I hope you accept my apology. And if you do not, that's okay. You don't have to. I was too hard on you. I gotta be more open. I'm looking for a thing right now. I'm unblocking you. I shouldn't have blocked you. I was wrong. I was way too hard on you. I don't see where I got you blocked on here. I'm assuming that I do. I'll keep looking and make sure that I correct that problem, and I'll try to get you unblocked over here also. You're a good guy, and I was definitely way too sensitive that day, so I apologize. Huh? No, I don't need to get. I appreciate that, but nah. I mean, I apologize all the time, but I apologize all the time. Just don't people just act like it don't happen. I apologize all the time. Is what it is. Letitia Hardman said Young Thug is in court today, motion hearing. That, yep, I guess today is the day that they're gonna see if he's gonna tell them something they want to know. He's gonna be at the courthouse. I guess today they're gonna be sitting there like, hey, Young Thug. They're gonna slide that paper over to him. They're gonna say, just point at the face. Just point at the one that did it. Just point. Young Thug is probably sitting there like, you motherfuckers, give me a TV. I'm laughing, man, but that nigga's in a room all by himself with nothing. Like, y'all don't understand what that is. A lot of y'all, some of y'all do. Some of y'all been in jail. And he can't see nothing. I think it's also insulated. He can't hear nothing. It's soundproof, too. Yeah, I don't get it. For real, for real. I wouldn't be surprised if they got Gunna in that situation if he already done broke. I'm not even being funny. Not a lot of people could take a long time. Not a lot of people could take a long time. A lot of y'all motherfuckers that think that y'all super strong mentally, y'all couldn't take a fucking month alone. Okay? A lot of y'all mentally strong niggas. Y'all couldn't take a month of nothing but your own thoughts. I promise you. You niggas is used to constant stimulation. You motherfuckers is couldn't sit in the fucking... You couldn't do it. Alright? Just so we could be clear. Also, being alone with your own thoughts too long is extremely dangerous. I just want to be clear on this. Please go outside and get stimulation. Please get stimulation. Being alone with your thoughts too much is dangerous as shit. And that's usually how psychopaths and all these other niggas is created. That's why sometimes just leave a motherfucker alone. Why y'all think y'all be hearing so many stories about a motherfucker that be just a regular nigga? Everybody be like, he was so nice, he was so polite. Then y'all hear about him going on some rampage somewhere. You don't know why it happened. Yeah, because he was a nice, polite guy minding his business, and somebody decided didn't know he ain't have an off switch. It's like, oh no, that guy right there, let's go fuck with him. They didn't know he ain't have an off switch. They didn't know. A lot of times when you're holding your own self back, what it looks like is you scared. People don't know what you're scared for. They assume it's them. So he's supposed to be going to court 9 times out of 10. Well, that's what Letitia Hartman said. I don't know if that shit is true. Letitia Hartman says any old damn thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's done said shit in this chat that is 100% wrong. And she said shit that was right. So I don't know what type of time she's coming on today. So I don't know if so I don't know how much validity to give her comment. It might be like dead on. It might be bullseye, but that shit might also be the whole board is over here and she threw it that way. So there's no telling. In any regard, if they are going to court, I'm gonna assume that they're gonna give him an ultimatum at some point, and I think he is supposed to be going to court soon, so she might be telling the truth. So they're gonna give him an ultimatum. I mean, at this point, they're gonna. Why all of these other rappers got skinny? All of these other rappers found bullshit reasons to get off the internet and get skinny. Tell me where I'm wrong. I was just thinking about that the other day because I was listening to the shit that Tom Spider-Man put out, Peter Parker. I'm just gonna call the nigga that because I can't remember the nigga real name. So I was just listening. Alright, Letitia, let's look it up. It says online right now. Let's look it up. Is it on YouTube or is it just on regular shit? Anyway, he was talking about getting off the internet. And then I was like, yeah, he want to get off the internet from social for mental health reasons. But also, he just needs a rest. Remember, he's been working nonstop for like 3 years straight. Yeah, I don't see what you're talking about. I'm gonna see hearing. Let's see here. I'm gonna put Young Thug hearing it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see nothing. I looked. There you go. I don't see nothing. Oh, 1 hour ago. Hold on. I found it, you rat bastard. I found it. See, I kept looking. Rapper Young Thug in court Thursday for another bond hearing. Atlanta rapper Young Thug will be in Fulton County courtroom Thursday for another bond hearing. Last week, the rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, was indicted on 6 more charges related to gang activity, drugs, and firearms violations. Williams has been held in Atlanta jail without bond 4 months. He is accused of being one of the founders of Young Slime Life, a criminal street gang. Williams' trial is expected to start in January, and then it just ends like that? What the fuck? So they're just saying he's in court. So I don't know, you could have wrote this shit. Is this you? This might be Letitia Hartman. This is how deep these trolls be going. They be creating a whole site. I don't know. I'm just fucking with y'all right now. I don't think you did all that. If you did all that, this is too much work. Alright, so we got something. Somebody said something about it. CBS 46 apparently. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. Shout out to Young Thug. They probably just got him in there to talk to him. But what kind of fucking? He's not getting bond. Like, you serious? Like, you really think he's gonna get bond? How? They just gave new charges. He ain't getting bond. Barry Bond. You're gonna have Barry Bond come in and shake his hand. That's about it. That's about it. That's what's gonna happen. Barry Bonds is gonna come in. They're gonna say, "Hey, Barry, this the guy over there. Go talk to him." Barry's gonna walk over there and be like, "Hey, Doc." He's gonna be like, "Hey, Doug." Be like, "Hey." Doug is gonna turn around and he's gonna, do some Doug shit. And he's gonna say like, "I'm over here to shake your hands." And then Doug is gonna say, "Why is your head so big?" It's on 11 Alive on Instagram or on YouTube. Instagram or YouTube. Appreciate you.
Letter, which I believe is that the handwritten copy that is typed and reflected on your letterhead?
Yes, Your Honor. The handwritten copy is the exact same.
All right, and I'll believe that'll also be court one.
Yes, sir.
I also have a letter dated 20 May from the law office of Lawrence Zimmerman related to Quintavious Greer. I have that one as well.
Yes, sir.
I have a letter dated 31 May 2022 from a Damon Blaylock, who at that point in time was in Wilcox State Prison. It's dated waiver of conflict of interest, and it is signed by Raymond Law. That's L-A-I-L.
Why is there no
I have a letter from Mr. Adams, Ed Levance Adams, involving Martinez Arnold, and that is dated May the 19th of 2022. I have a waiver from Mr. Kitchens. And that's dated 10 June of 2022. And I also have a waiver from, as you mentioned, Jimmy Winfrey. And that's dated 16 June 2022. And that's Miss Rockwell's client. But since Mr. Winfrey's not here, I'll wait until any of the people who are not in custody as of yet.
They pay for you to play their games every 3 hours with no minimum to cash out. Amazing, right?
Honestly, y'all are not going to deal with that regarding Mr. Winfrey.
Not yet, because he's not subjecting himself to jurisdictional court as of yet.
Did they have the excuse, because I was subpoenaed for that, Mr. Garland?
Okay, all right. I mean, Mr. Garland can release you from your subpoena. I don't know how we could potentially go forward with that unless Mr. Winfrey is in fact before us. So maybe Mr. Garland was being extra cautious and making sure that it had Mr. Williams actually, I'm sorry, not Mr. Williams, Mr. Winfrey actually been apprehended or given a bond or to that effect, then we would be able to do something with it.
Thank you, Judge.
So I'll just table it for the time being now.
Good to see you, Judge.
Yes, good to see you as well. Okay, all right. So Mr. Adams,
Yes, sir.
I've marked the typed letter and your client's handwritten letter as courts 1 and 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to go, Mr. Williams? Where are you? Mr. Williams, good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Williams, did you have the opportunity to read and discuss the waivers, that your handwritten waiver and the typed waiver that were signed on the 18th of May of this year, 2022?
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna go through it with you right quick, okay? It references on this particular date and you are Jeffrey Williams, who's born on August the 16th, 1991, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, it says you've consulted with Attorney Keith Adams on the matters contained therein, and you state basically as the following, okay? That you are the same Jeffrey Williams charged in indictment 22 SC 182273, and that was the prior indictment in this case. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you understand that your case has been re-indicted in 22 SC 183572. Have you had the opportunity to speak with your attorney about the new indictment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It also references that you're being currently held, and right now you're in the Cobb County Detention Facility. Is that correct?
Not in Cobb.
Okay, that's what I said. You're in the Cobb County?
Yes.
Cobb County Detention Facility. And this contains the indictment 22 SC 182273. And that case has been re-indicted, as I mentioned, in case ending 572. So that's correct. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then number 3 says that you've received, read, and understand the charges contained in the reference indictment. And you're aware that you're being charged in the indictment with other individuals. Is that still your understanding?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 4 represents that you're currently being represented by Attorney Brian Steele and Keith Adams, and that you've been represented by Attorney Brian Steele since the date of your arrest on May the 9th of 2022. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It also references that you have been represented by Mr. Steele in other legal matters and unequivocally desire his continued relationship, and you also established a trusted attorney-client relationship with Mr. Steele. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. It also references that you've had daily meetings and consultations with Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams regarding your case and specifically your defense. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you met with Mr. Adams, number 6, independently and outside the presence of Mr. Steele concerning any potential conflicts of interest regarding Mr. Steele's representation of other persons named in the indictment as well as you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 7 references that specifically Mr. Adams has discussed with you the specifics of the State Bar of Georgia rules pertaining to conflicts contained in the Georgia Rules of Professional Conduct, specifically 1.7, 1.9, and 3.7. And Mr. Adams has discussed with you thoroughly and completely the issues related to any potential or alleged conflicts in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 8 references that based on your discussions with Mr. Adams, you're unequivocally waiving any and all conflicts and desire in no uncertain terms for Mr. Steele to continue to represent you in this matter. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Number 9 references that you're aware that Mr. Steele has represented other persons in this indictment, and notwithstanding any relationship Mr. Steele may have or may have had with any other person or persons contained in this indictment, you waive any potential conflicts. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then number 10 says that you've met with Mr. Steele and discussed that what we've discussed here. After review, the state's motion to disqualify Mr. Steele is your counsel, and that you have stated to Mr. Steele unequivocally and without reservation, and you state to me, the court, that you waive any potential conflict and wish for Mr. Steele to remain as your chosen counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Adams?
Nothing on behalf of Mr. Williams. I believe that's sufficient, but obviously
Anything on behalf of the state?
Your Honor, we just simply like to ask just to confirm whether Mr. Williams has been promised coerced, threatened, anything in order to obtain this waiver?
All right.
Under oath.
Mr. Williams, just a couple other questions. Have you been forced or threatened or tricked or basically cajoled into signing this particular waiver?
No, sir.
Are you entering this waiver, and did you sign this waiver freely and voluntarily? That means it was your own decision to enter or sign this waiver in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Williams, I would tell you that I will, at this point in time, continue and let Mr. Steele represent you. However, I do, if there is a conflict which develops later, you certainly are more than welcome to raise it, or if I see it, I will raise it for your consideration and the state's consideration. But at this point in time, I'm going to let Mr. Steele represent you at this point. But if Mr. Geary, if a conflict does arise at any point in time in the future, I will reconsider this particular issue of representation.
Can I ask the court to do one thing, sir?
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to make a record. Would the court please put Mr. Williams under oath and ask him to reaffirm all the answers he just gave?
Okay, all right. Mr. Williams, can I get you to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the evidence you'll give in the matter now in hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and none but the truth, so help you God, so affirm?
Yes.
I can put your hand down. All the questions that I just asked you, do you reaffirm and reinstate those responses?
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else, sir?
No, sir, thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. And so that will be the order of the court, Mr. Adams. If you prepare a suitable order for my signature, send it to Mr. Geary and his colleagues, and also send Mr. Kearns a copy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Are we gonna?
I'm gonna pause it. Okay, so the judge just fucked up twice. If y'all wasn't paying attention, that's one. Two. They're after other rappers. They're after other rappers. I don't know if I should, I don't even know if I should break it down. I'm not 100% sure if I should break it down. They're 100% after other rappers. 100%.
Have you got the defendants as they're available, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And we'll see who else is available today. All right. Anything else, Mr. Adams?
No, sir. Not even Mr. Williams specifically.
Okay. All right. Let me table your bond issue. You're gonna let me know about that. Let me see who else is on the platform. Okay.
You do intend to question the other individuals?
Are you me?
I'm asking.
Well, let me do my job then.
I'm just asking.
I told you to. Don't tell me I don't know court. Don't tell me that I'm not one of the best at this. Shout out to the Most High, just because. I told y'all, the judge messed up twice. So before the judge could mess up this time, dude beat him to the punch. So what did the judge say? Basically told him, I know how to do my job. Nigga, you just messed up twice and we all saw you.
Please clarify.
I didn't come out here for shucks and giggles. I mean, I came out here to take care of the waivers. That's your bond issue you do today. All right. Anything else, Mr. Adams?
No, sir. Not even Mr. Williams specifically.
Okay. All right. Let me table your bond issue. You're gonna let me know about that. Let me see who else is on the platform. Okay.
You do intend to question the other individuals?
Are you me?
I'm asking.
Well, let me do my job then.
I'm just asking. Just need some clarification.
I didn't come out here for shucks and giggles. I mean, I came out here to take care of the waivers. That's what we're doing today. So why then?
I'm just asking. Just need some clarification.
I didn't come out here for shucks and giggles. Let me table your bond issue. You're gonna let me know about that. Let me see who else is on the platform. Okay.
You do intend to question the other individuals?
Are you me?
I'm asking.
I mean, well, let me do my job then.
I'm just asking. Just need some
I
clarification.
didn't come out here for shucks and giggles. I mean, I came out here to take care of the waivers. That's,
So, Judge,
that's what we're doing today. So why would you ask me that?
When you said if there was anything else, I was.
For you, because you told me, you said, hey, are we gonna handle, we have our bond issue being heard today? And I said, yes. And then you said, well, let me decide whether or not I want to, after consulting with the team, whether I want to do that. But I got other folks I got to take care of. So yes.
Can I just say?
Can you just slink back into your chair? Okay, yes, you can.
Can I just say in response to your question that I understand that there are other individuals who may be on the platform whose conflict waivers in reference to Mr. Williams. And that's what I was asking, whether or not you intended to.
Anybody who's here, sir, right now, who's on the platform, who was in fact noticed for today, I'm going to take up.
All right, and with that, I'll take a seat at the table.
Okay, and then you can let me know about the bond in just a minute, okay?
I will do so.
Okay, all right. No.
Told y'all, I know what the fuck I be talking about when I be talking about a court of law. I told y'all, he fucked up a minute ago. Twice. What up, Springs? What up, King Slade? Y'all wrote that a dumb long time ago, and I'm just now responding back. I want to apologize. Let's finish it. I told y'all. I know what the fuck I'm talking about when we're talking about this shit. I stay giving y'all the truth and games. I stay putting you on what's going on.
Yeah, you can stand with me. Yeah.
Shout out to the Most High. Just cause.
Yeah, you can stand with me. That's fine. All right, go ahead. Okay, all right.
When we be looking at this shit, I'm literally not just talking to y'all about whatever the fuck I'm telling y'all what's going on in the courtroom.
Okay, so Mr. Gary, who else do we have on the platform today we can deal with in terms of waivers?
Your Honor,
Ms. Rosenwasser, who do we have, madam?
Your Honor, I'm not sure I don't want to miss anybody, but I know that people that I know Mr. Martinez Arnold is here today, and he's one of Mr. Steele's waivers. I know that Mr. Kitchens, of course, is here, and he has his own conflict issue. I know Mr. Stillwell's attorney is here. I'm not sure if Mr. Stillwell is on the platform. I am not.
Let me see if I can find
My
him.
shit's still low in phone.
All right.
You heard somebody ghetto ass mic came on?
Okay, let me see who, because these folks are not named, let me see who's actually here on the platform. Sir, in S 214, sir, what is your name? Bill Levitt, can you unmute our boxes, our jail Zoom boxes, please, madam? Thank you.
Yo, this judge is not one of the better judges, man. This is not one of the better judges, man. He's not as good as the judge that just dealt with the Amber Heard situation. Not as good as the Treyway judge. Not as good as the fucking other judge that we just saw. This guy is not that good of a judge, man. He's been fucking up. He's been fucking up, man. Y'all know what that means? Hold on. Y'all know what that means when the judge is fucking up, right? Does anybody know what that means, or do y'all need me to tell y'all? Let me fast forward it to when they get to some action. Hold on, I want to stop everything. When the judge is fucking up, you know what that means, right? Appeal. If the judge fucks up, you can get an appeal. It's easier to get an appeal. He's fucking up. He just fucked up twice, and then chewed the other guy out. Really unnecessary, because he got tired of getting called out. Let's just say what it is. A nigga get tired of getting called out, whether you right or wrong. Like, it didn't even happen yet. Let me fuck up, all right? I just fucked up twice. You gonna beat me to the punch now? What the fuck, yo? Let me at least make the mistake.
Yes, sir. All right, okay. Thank you much, sir. Okay. And I'll go, Mr. Dorsey,
He's position 12 on the PM.
Darius Dorsey. I'm sorry, one more time? Darius Dorsey. I heard Cordarius, I didn't hear the last name.
Mr. Dorsey.
Dorsey.
They know. They just keep the camera on Young Thug.
He's position 12 on the PNA.
Thank you, madam.
They got him right in the corner, so they can make sure. Gunner there too, and they ain't do Gunner yet.
Mr. Dorsey, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, we still need to get you a lawyer, okay? Okay, cool. Do you have an attorney as of yet? I didn't mean to be so presumptuous, but do you have an attorney, sir, yet? Not yet, sir. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and put you back on for the 8th of September, and let's see if we can't find you a lawyer. That was part of the challenge that we're having. And I'll go ahead and see if we can't get somebody appointed to represent you, okay? Yes, sir. All right, so I'm gonna excuse you at this point in time, and we'll go ahead and bring you back for, on the 8th of September, okay? Yes, sir. All right, okay. Thank you much, sir. Okay, go. All right.
Did he say, "Can I go"?
Violetta, who is, or Mr. Mon, who is in jail, WebEx? Who's that gentleman there?
Let me double check, Your Honor.
That should be Mr. Kitchen.
Is that Mr. Kitchens? All right.
With the camera.
Yes, sir. If that's Mr. Kitchens, I think we have Mr. Kitchens. Is that you, sir? Yes, Your Honor. Okay, thank you, sir. Hold on one second.
Sure you were okay. John.
Let me see if there's anybody else on before I go ahead and do
Oh
that.
shit! Look who showed up.
Mr. Garland, just give me 1 second. Who is in ends 506, Violetta?
Showed up.
Mr. Mon, if it's okay, you can unmute the other folks in the other booths. Let me just see who they are, so maybe we can I can take those folks up as well. We have the South Annex, and then we have S714. Sir, and 214, S214. Thanks, sir. Oh, it's Ben. Also, do you have an attorney, sir?
No.
Okay. All right, Beth?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody has an attorney.
I'm gonna,
All right, we called all the way up.
gentleman in S 714. What's your name?
That's going to be my case. Carrington Matthews, we're on standby waiting for your honor.
6, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Matthews, thank you for your patience with us this morning. Sir, do you wish to go ahead and waive formal arraignment, have the court enter a not guilty plea on behalf of your client, and otherwise for you to have 10 days from upon the receipt of discovery to file any motion, sir?
Yes, your honor, that is correct. And I would ask that we be placed on the September 8th calendar.
For bond?
Yes, your honor.
Have you filed a bond motion as of yet?
I have not, your honor.
Okay, go ahead and do so. I'll put you on for that calendar for that 8 September calendar for bond.
Okay, so he's just doing this now. He didn't know about the whole September 8th. Shout out to this attorney. He's just doing this shit on the fly. They don't have a plan. They need to see what the other niggas is doing for them to know what to do. But the dude with the gray head, he didn't come into after Young Thug. You understand what I'm saying? So these other dudes, they need to follow their lead. These other guys is just free attorneys. They're government appointed. So these guys need to follow the other dudes' leads if they, you know what I'm saying? Obviously. So what happened is the main dude, he ain't get there till late. So these other guys, they're just trying to buy themselves more time. So that's why he jumped up there and you hear him saying that. He's like, what do you want, a bond? He don't even know what he's asking for. He just want more time. You understand what I'm saying?
And
I anticipate.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, your honor. I anticipate possibly another motion that may accompany that as well.
All right, I'll have to determine, well, when you file it, we'll determine whether or not we're going to hear it on the 8th, okay?
He doesn't even know.
We'll provide a copy to the court.
All right, okay. E-file it and then send a copy to Mr. Chamberlain and Mr. Kearns, okay?
Will do, Judge.
All right, and your trial will be set for the 9th of January of 2023, okay? That's your trial date.
Got it, Judge.
Okay, all right. Unless you have anything else, sir, thank you for your patience, and I'll otherwise excuse you, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ewer, you can be relieved. You can go ahead and go back now at this point in time. Thank you, sir. All right.
That attorney have no idea what he ain't know. They just found out about the September 8th date.
Let's see. Who do we?
They just found out about the September 8th date when he gave it to the other dude that don't have an attorney.
Have at the South Annex. Let's see.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Ms. Seaborn.
Miss Seaborn, hold on.
Number 5.
Hold on. Okay, Mr. Theory, you still with us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for your patience. All right. Okay, I have Miss Reed and I have Miss Seaborn and I have you now at this point in time. Sir, do you wish to go ahead and waive formal arraignment and otherwise have 10 days to file motions and for the court enter a not guilty plea on behalf of your client? Or is this a bond hearing for you?
Yes, it's a bond hearing, Your Honor.
Yeah, because I think you all are on for the September 26th calendar. Is that right? Trial calendar, is that correct?
Yes, no. Yes.
This judge don't even know who's in front of him. This judge don't even know who in front of him, yo. What the fuck, yo?
All right, well, all right. Sir, go ahead and state the ILA factors you wish me to consider for bond, and I'll let the state respond, Ms. Reed, and then I'll make a decision, okay?
Okay, Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, this
I gotta stop. This judge is thinking about the cameras too much. I'm gonna explain. He's not supposed to ask him like that. He's supposed to The judge already know what the arguments are. The judge has already received the arguments. The judge has already have paperwork with the fucking argument that he wants to make based on why he believes they should be getting fucking bond or bail or whatever the motherfucker. So he's not supposed to say to convince me. He's supposed to just let them know, you know what I'm saying? Just, okay, let's hear what your argument is. That's it. That's it. Like, what the fuck is up with this judge? He's thinking too much about the cameras.
Case was on for June.
He's trying to explain it for us. Don't explain it for us. These people's lives are on the line. Don't be trying to explain it to the fucking studio audience. Just do your job. If we don't follow, then we can't follow. Just do your fucking job. That's it. That's all you gotta do. I should have put a t-shirt on, right? Do I got armpit sweat? Oh, I don't got armpit sweat. Deodorant and showers. Whoever is the guy that wrote that. That'll help. I usually partake in both of those things. For the person that thought I had a whole bunch of armpit sweat. Deodorant and showers. It'll help.
14, 2022 bond hearing. However, Ms. Sebron was in quarantine, so it was further notice to this date. We'd ask the court to consider the fact that my client is 26 years old. I don't believe that she has a felony history, but I have to defer to the state. She has community contacts here, Your Honor, is from Georgia. She's 26 years old and has 2 children. She had been working at Clorox prior to her incarceration. She has a high school diploma and she is landscape certified, as well as having a forklift license, and has an OSHA 10, which means that she can operate forklifts and heavy machinery.
Is that a lawyer?
Prior to her arrest, she had been accepted into Atlanta Technical College.
This nigga
My client's been in jail since December 10th, 2021. In court today on her behalf is her mother and her sister.
Is he just scared?
Her mother, Yolanda Sebron, and her sister, Rosa Enriguez, ENRIGUEZ. On the platform today on her behalf is her sister, Shakita Clark, and her brother, James Sebron. Your Honor, these charges arise from her activities in dealing with the co-defendant, Mr. Thayer, in which our allegation that she was a victim, as much as the alleged victim in this case, who I will call JB, because she is a minor. We would submit that she did not share in any proceeds dealing with the sexual servitude of that child, and was actually trafficked by the co-defendant, Mr. Thayer. We don't believe that she has any history of failure to appear. We don't believe that she's a danger to try to intimidate any witnesses or the alleged victim in this case, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what the problem I have with this is. You're telling me that she has all of those different licenses and everything else, right? That tells me that she was probably in jail, and that's why she acquired most of those certifications. Because there's no way that you could tell me that she has all of those certifications with her good paying jobs and she's out here selling her ass. So she took time to get all of those certifications and then sold her ass? Keep her locked up. Keep her.
A $10,000 bond for the cruelty
sort that shit out.
Charge. We would ask the court to consider a reasonable bond in this matter due to her relatively lack of criminal history. She does not know where this victim is located and will not try to seek her out. And she will be fine with not communicating with Mr. Thayer. Your Honor, she does have a
There's a movie called, it's a Dirty Harry movie. It's called, I want to get this name of this movie for y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Dirty Harry. It is Sudden Impact. All right, so there's a Dirty Harry movie called Sudden Impact. Basically, in Sudden Impact, what happens is these chicks get raped. Some girl and her sister meet up with some biker guys or some beach dudes or whatever, and they partying with them. And the whole reason why they went and partied with them because a female, the dudes was hanging out with this chick. So this chick kept telling them, nah, it's safe, don't worry, come have fun. And they was getting them drunk and everything. And then after they got them drunk and everything, they all raped them, including the chick. The sister goes crazy. She goes and gets revenge. The point in which I'm trying to make is we all know some of these women do be victims, but not all of them. Some of them be the ones that be luring the girls there for the shit to happen in the first place. We all know that's true. Keep her. Sort this shit out. Keep her bond out, whatever it is what I'm saying. I'm not saying give. I'm saying don't give her no low shit. What the fuck? Sort that shit out.
Child with the co-defendant.
What up, Susan Bortz Patel?
He's incarcerated.
Some be
and she
recruiters. That's a
would
fact. What up, Teddy White?
not contact him if given a bond. He has 2 children, Your Honor. He has the court to consider a bond in this matter, as I don't believe she has a prior record. She will come to court. Her mother has been steadily in communication with me regarding her daughter, and she has a strong family support system. We would ask the court to consider a reasonable bond under these circumstances.
Okay, Ms. Reeves?
Thank you, Your Honor. This case was indicted on January 13th of 2022. Her original request for bond was denied at first appearance based on the severity and the nature of the crime. That judge found she was a danger to the community, and the state is here asking for you to deny her request today, this is her first request in Superior Court. Attorney Theory is correct. She does not have any prior convictions. However, she is facing 3 counts of trafficking, which carry a maximum of 3 life sentences and 20 years for the cruelty to children charge. In light of that, the state feels that she poses a significant risk of fleeing prior to.
My apologies. I'm sorry. You guys, we lost South and the officer just called. The internet's been going in and out. She's not on. So they're trying to log back in now.
Oh, we're gonna have to let him back in. Miss Reeves will have to stand fast on that one, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be ready.
All right. Yeah, she sure is. All right, we'll pick that up in just a second.
He's not gonna give her bond. He's not gonna give her bond because he's already done fucked up 2 or 3 times. The last thing he want to do is give somebody bond on a day that he's been fucking up, and then they go out there and they do some weirdo shit. She's not getting bond. She should.
Is there Rodalis Ryan on the platform, Mr. Ryan?
She shouldn't.
A Rodalis Ryan, anyone?
She's in DOC, convicted last fall for a murder charge.
Do you have a
We can send an email to the court to everybody that's not in Fulton County in custody after the hearing.
If y'all are enjoying any part of this content,
okay, yeah.
if you're enjoying any part of this content, obviously I'm talking about my commentary, not the fact that I'm just playing the court proceedings, but I'm giving commentary to the court proceedings and we're having a conversation. If you are enjoying any part of this show, you could hit the like button. You could drop some frost in the chat. You could pull up to the PayPal, the super chat. You could also go into the BBN shop. I'm trying to tell you, this is just me speaking from what's been going on lately. We've been getting some good sales. Pull up to the BBN shop. That's Gun at the bottom. I promise you we got something you like. I promise you. I promise you, we got something you
What
like.
about Justin Cobb, position number 11? Not in custody either, all right.
I promise you,
We'll
we got
continue
something that
to
fit
the
your
September
personality.
as well, just in case.
Want to hear what they're gonna say? Gunner has not come up yet. Gunner's about to come up any minute.
She's on parole, so he's out right now. So at this point, there's already a grand jury warrant. We do not need to reset it.
Okay. You're just trying to keep them all together, Mr. Chamberlain. Just trying to keep them all together, that's all. Okay, what about number 18, Mr. Fleetwood?
Mr. Fleetwood is also DOC judge.
We need a location and identifier for him, and we can put him on. Thank you, sir. We'll put that on for the 8th of September, okay? All right. Okay. Okay, what about Jaden Myrick? Is that Mr. Theory? Are you representing Mr. Myrick?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Is Mr. Myrick on the platform?
I don't see him. Mr. Myrick, can you read?
Shout out to Susan Bortz-Padil with the $5
I
drop.
do not see him
What
on
did
the
the 5
platform, Your Honor.
fingers
He will be
say to
on
the face? She said, "Hi, haters."
113.
I'll have to get Lieutenant Dooley to see if we can find him.
My apologies. What position is Mr. Myrick, sir?
Number 14, madam. He's supposed to be in 7 South 113.
This judge, yo, I don't know.
I can wait on him.
I don't know.
Received. I actually just called the floor for him a month ago after Mr. Huey left the booth. So
All right,
I'll
thank you.
call again.
That's okay, we'll wait. That's fine, that's fine. Has 6 South, the South Annex rejoined us? Yeah, I see them. Okay, all right, okay, let's see, let's go back to,
No, you're not blocked. I
okay,
see
Ms.
your
Sebring,
exclusive
what was the
drop.
last thing you heard, madam?
Sir,
Can you come up to the microphone just a little bit for me, please,
You
madam?
gotta put it on live chat. You probably be talking and it don't be on live chat, so I don't see you.
What was the last thing that you heard before you dropped off?
I didn't even know Tori Mosley was in here.
my attorney was talking, he was saying something about my 2 children.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Joe Budden said that. Joe Budden
Mr.
funny.
Theory?
Yes, Your Honor.
Morning.
All right, we'll pick up from there again, since she didn't hear that. So, go ahead and, if you'll continue with, I think the last thing she heard was the 3 children. So if you want to restart your argument from there, and I'll let Miss Reeves go ahead and start over again as well.
Okay, Your Honor. Yes, in court today, or have been earlier, was her mother, Yolanda Sebring. Please raise your hand if you can hear me, ma'am. Along with her sister, Rosa Enriquez. And on the platform is Mr. James Sebring and her brother and Miss Sebring's sister, Shakita Clark, is on the platform. She has community connections, Your Honor, and no record. She will come to court when called upon. We'd ask the court to consider bonds of $15,000 each for each trafficking for sexual servitude charge, and a $10,000 bond for the first-degree cruelty to the children. She would be able to stay away from the co-defendant and have no contact with him, and will not try to intimidate any witnesses in this case, including the victim, Ms. J.B., who was a minor child. She has, with her history, her lack of history, criminal history, Your Honor, her lack of failure to appears, we'd ask the court to consider a reasonable bond in this situation. We'd ask the court to consider ankle monitoring services, and that she be on 24-hour curfew except for work and or school. As she had been attending Atlanta Metropolitan, was supposed to attend Atlanta Metropolitan College prior to her arrest. we'd ask the court to consider a reasonable bond under the circumstances that she's not a danger to flee the jurisdiction with her 2 minor children and her community contacts.
If she's released, where's she gonna live, sir?
She would live with her mother in Fulton County, and I can provide that information to the court.
Okay, all right. Anything else, sir?
No, not at this time.
Okay, Ms. Reeves.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just because Ms. Sebring did not hear, I'll repeat everything.
Your camera's off. Ms. Reeves, your camera's off.
I apologize, Your Honor. It's saying the camera cannot restart. Would Your Honor mind if I just leave that off until it decides to turn itself back on?
All right, that's fine.
I think we're all having some technical difficulties, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay, though?
Ma'am, we can hear you, that's fine.
Okay. Her original request for bond was denied at first appearance. Based on the severity of the charges, the judge found that she was a danger to the community, and the state agrees with that. This is her first request in Superior Court for a bond. It's the state's opinion she is not a good candidate. Attorney theory is correct that as far as her criminal history, she does not have any prior convictions. However, she is facing 3 counts of trafficking, which carry a maximum of 3 life sentences and 20 years for cruelty to children. In light of that, the state feels that she poses a significant risk of fleeing prior to the trial in this case. In order to support why we feel she poses a significant danger to the community, I'll provide the court with a brief summary of the facts in this case. This involves the trafficking of a 14-year-old victim who had been reported missing at the time. The defendant, along with her co-defendant, preyed on that child's vulnerability since she had nowhere to go and exploited her for their financial gain. The defendant trafficked this child for several days out of a room at the Motel 6 in Union City. The child was forensically interviewed and digital evidence was collected as part of the investigation, including data from the defendant's phones and social media. The defendants posted advertisements of the child on escort websites, which advertised her for sex in exchange for money, and both defendants were positively identified as the ones who sold her for sex. This defendant, Ms. Sebring, would remain in the room when those sexual transactions occurred in order to collect the money from the child. She had to abide by certain rules, that being the child had to abide by certain rules of the defendants, which included not leaving or not speaking to anyone. The child did not have a phone of her own, and she was not even allowed to take a shower without their permission. Defendant Sebring gave an interview to law enforcement upon her arrest, where she corroborated much of the victim's disclosure and made several other admissions, such as the victim did look like a young girl, admitted that the victim stayed in their room and was engaging in sexual transactions. She admitted to taking pictures of the victim while the victim was wearing lingerie, admitted to writing the ads, which are the descriptions for the victim, admitted that she would go into the bathroom while the victim engaged in those transactions, and would even bring her small child in the bathroom with her to wait. What's even more disturbing to the state, Your Honor, is the defendant also admitted that they had done this before with other females, and at least one of those females has been identified by our investigators as being another underage child. As to the victim argument that attorney theory brought up, based on our review of the social media evidence, it appears that both parties were very willing in this scheme as a way to make money. But again, that is more of an argument for trial, but since it was brought up today, that discovery has been turned over to defense counsel, and we are of the opinion that she was very much a willing party. In light of everything in this case, the state feels strongly she poses a significant threat or danger to the community and poses significant risk of intimidating witnesses and victims. And based on what she is facing if convicted, that we feel that she may be at risk of flight. And even based on her own admissions, the state's likely to find other victims of this defendant, at which point she will likely face more charges. In light of everything, we do ask that the court deny her request for bond today.
Ms. Reeves, do you have any specific evidence on the Iowa factors that you can tell the court about flight threats? I mean, I noticed that she's facing significant time, but she's presumed to be not. I mean, presumption of innocence still follows her. at this point in time. So, and then has she threatened any witnesses up to this point in time?
No, Your Honor, she does not have a criminal history. Attorney Theory is correct. She does not have any FTAs.
This is the worst
we
judge
would mostly
ever.
rely on the threat or danger to the community. And if there are other victims out there that we have not discovered or in the process of discovering, we do have concerns that she would hear.
She's been in custody a year though, right?
She was arrested December 10th of 2021.
2021, so she's been in custody some almost 8.5 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has your investigation revealed any such evidence that, or part of discovery thus far?
I'm sorry, repeat that, Your Honor?
Has your investigation revealed any additional victims at this point in time?
That's not what he asked first.
You have?
Yes, Judge. The one in her interview.
The one you told me about. Okay. But other than that other one, is there anybody else that you've been able to your investigations revealed?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
Okay.
There was others that she mentioned as far as names that she knew them by in her interview. So we are always diligently work to locate them, but we have confirmed that one of them was an underage child.
What the fuck is he deliberating?
Your Honor, we just asked the court to know that interviews were done on February.
I can't hear you, sir. You have to speak.
I would ask the court to consider the fact that these interviews that were done with my client were done in February, February 26th or so of this year, and that now, almost 6 months later, there have been no additional charges filed against my client, who
I think her already charges are bad enough. She's a willing participant in underage sex trafficking. I don't understand what he's deliberating. The only way I can even see this being a deliberation is if all parties was over age and willing. What are you saying?
Able to stay away from social media as well as a condition of a bond if the court would grant her a bond.
Okay, that's the other guy too. How is this a deliberation? Does somebody explain this shit to me? She has no actual place to go, I believe they said. She's done this more than once with underage children, or children underage. I don't understand. I don't like this judge. I don't like I generally don't really dislike or like anyone. I genuinely like everybody. But I don't like this judge. I don't like the way he's judging. I think he's doing a terrible, terrible job with his judgments. I don't think this was something to be deliberating over. What the fuck are you reading? What the fuck is he reading? War and Peace? What's taking so long?
Okay. Mr. Theory and Ms. Reeves, given what's been proffered and considering the factors under 17-6-1E and Ayala versus the state at 262 Georgia, I am going to go ahead and...
He wasn't prepared.
...that Ms. Seaburn a bond. E and Ayala versus the state at 262 Georgia, I am going to go ahead and set Ms. Seaburn a bond. I'll set $15,000 on each count of trafficking a person for sexual servitude and $15,000 on cruelty to children first degree. That total bond being $60,000 cash, property, or security. She will be required to have an ankle monitor that will be provided by Fulton County. She'll be subject to pretrial level 3. No internet, no social media. Mother. Yeah.
Let's just get to what we're gonna do with
No
this
internet.
guy's
Do you have any
worst
updates
judge.
on Mr. Someone, Mr. Geary, or?
He is either in DeKalb County, and he is an attorney, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
attorney, I think it's RAGAS, has filed an entry of appearance.
One more time. What's his last name?
RAGAS. Arthur Regas. Arnold, I'm sorry. Has filed a entry of appearance, I think it was just last week.
Okay.
But I believe my last information is that he's not been brought to rights, that he's still in DeKalb County.
If we could, if you have any identification, custodial identification for him, we'll go ahead and put him on the 8th of September, and we'll see if we can reach out to Mr. Ragus. Is it R-A-G-U-S?
R-A-G-A-S.
R-A-G-A-S. Okay. First name Arnold. Okay, all right. Okay, Cormarius Nichols.
No attorney is yet to our knowledge, Judge. He should be in rights.
Yeah, Mr. Nichols, are you on the platform? Let's see. Lieutenant Dooley, do we have Mr. Nichols on the plan or availability? Cormarvius, I should say. Nichols, he's supposed to be in 5N 613.
I'm gonna actually start making me some grits and eggs. Cause I don't know how many hours this is gonna be. This nigga's an idiot.
Okay, we're gonna hold
So
that
I'm
one
gonna
for
leave this shit
location,
playing
and I think
right there
that.
if I go prep my food. What the fuck, yo? How he let her go?
I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
He was contained, Judge.
He doesn't have an attorney, so I'm gonna put him on for the 8th, Mr. Chamberlain.
Judge, on position 9, Mr. McCollum.
A lot of these dudes wouldn't even be able to have access to these children if not for them girls, the females that steal.
Believe that, yeah, Mr. Mullen, I think we took care of already. McMullen. Yes, we took care of him already. I spoke to him, and we're gonna put him on for the 8th of September, see if we can get him on, an attorney.
Now, was he was on Zoom?
Yes.
A lot of these
Yeah,
young
I took care of
girls
it
wouldn't
already.
end up situations if not for them niggas steering them.
Okay.
Them older women.
Position 3, Mr. Ford, is he still holding?
That's bananas.
I'm
That's
here.
He gave her a bond, yo. That was bananas. That was bananas. More than one victim on top of that. That was bananas.
Mr. Farley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Come on, Mr. Mateus.
And Your Honor, I'll have one witness. She's logged in now with her audio and video muted. It's Miss Patricia Ford.
Miss Patricia who?
Ford, Your Honor, F-O-R-D.
I'm trying to see if I can find her.
Judge, can we put something on the record, please?
Hold on one second, let me see if I can find her again, okay?
Your Honor, her box is next to Mr. Farley's, actually, coincidentally,
I'm gonna move her.
to the right.
Now I see it. Okay. Ms. Ford, can you turn your camera on for me, please, madam? Okay. Mr. Geary, you want to say something, sir?
Yes, so I just want to put on the record, Judge, we were getting told this bond hearing would not be on the calendar. We would announce not ready, we will follow the court's instructions.
Your Honor, this was on the calendar that was mailed out to us, and it says on there, motion to reconsider bond.
Mr. Geary, I'm gonna go forward and it's a motion to reconsider bond. So tell me what's changed since the last time that I considered bond for you, or for your client, I should say.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, for the opportunity. There's a lot that's changed.
Because I denied him bond back in May the 23rd of this year.
That's correct, Your Honor, that's right.
All right.
That was all based on proffers made by the state and the defense before discovery had ever been sent out. And so, Your Honor, I do want to correct several misstatements that the state made about Mr. Farley at that prior hearing, so that the court now has a more nuanced, full picture of things to take into consideration with the other things presented, as well as the Ayala factors, Your Honor. There was a lot of proffers about the murder count that Mr. Farley is alleged to be a party to. We've since gotten the discovery. The warrant affidavit itself alleges no party to a crime allegation whatsoever. It alleges just mere presence and mere association, Judge. And I've now done a little investigation into Mr. Farley's clothing company, which is what brought him into all this in the first place, Judge. And so I do want the court to consider that together with some proffers. And I understand the state's position about the privacy of the discovery, and that they have a pending motion about us not sharing discovery outside of our legal staff. And I would also, for the record, they have made some implications about the defense counsels in this case, yet they're using Dropbox, which is a private third-party company. So it's entirely possible that someone within their office or someone within Dropbox has connections to social media and, TMZ and stuff like that. So I would ask, Judge, if we could do an in-camera inspection of some very small portions of the discovery, specifically the BP video that the state referenced earlier at the prior bond hearing.
Did you put that in your motion?
No, Judge, I didn't.
Okay, so I'm gonna take up that on the 8th. So if you want to proffer or have me consider that, call a motion.
I told you you're not
Invite you to put some suitable facts and law in there like you're doing right now, and have me consider it and have the state respond to it, okay?
Yes, Judge, and may I continue?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
Yes, so in the case that bond is denied today, Judge, I will return on the 8th with that in-camera motion. But for now, Judge, I'll proffer what I find different to the state, Judge. For one, the state implied at the prior hearing that Mr. Farley knew these people very intimately, that he greeted them when they walked into the BP. But, Your Honor, what actually happened is there's a Fusion and an Audi. The Audi is alleged to have Mr. Shannon Stillwell in it. The Fusion is alleged to have Mr. Quamarvius Nichols and Mr. Farley in the back seat with Quamarvius driving. And so the Audi and the Fusion
but the judge is fucking up.
Right around from the juvenile court, Your Honor. And then the deceased pulls up in a car, and when that deceased leaves, the Audi follows him and the Fusion follows him with Miles in the back seat of the Fusion. The license plate readers confirm that the Audi is in front of the car that Mr. Miles Farley is in the back seat of. And Your Honor, it's this mere association with Mr. Quamarvius that led him to be there. He's not even a driver of one of the cars. And he doesn't actually greet anyone when he walks into the BP. Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Nichols are standing at the cashier, doing something playful with the cashier. And Mr. Farley later gets out of his car from the back seat, walks into the store by himself, and doesn't acknowledge Mr. Stillwell or Mr. Nichols. And as he's walking by to get something, Mr. Stillwell turns and does this playful, bucking kind of playful thing and startles Mr. Farley, who then playfully turns around and continues to go into the store. And then out of the corner of Mr. Farley's eye, he sees Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Nichols about to just leave him there. And so he, in a panic, scurries away, follows them out the door. They don't even acknowledge him any further. They turn his back on him and they leave, Your Honor. So the association and the presence here is has more nuance to it than the state alleged at their proffer, Judge. And so what I contend to this court is it's corroboration of what I presented to the court initially, that Mr. Farley, he's a graduate of South Atlanta High School and Miles University, and all this time at 24 years old, has never been convicted of anything besides a misdemeanor amount of marijuana at some point, Judge, which is a typical teenager childish thing. So, Your Honor, he has no criminal history. He's an entrepreneur with a business degree, and his specialty is he makes clothing. The company is called Make America Slime Again. It's a play on words. In the hip hop industry, there's a lot of this. You put the word trap or slime into something that's already part of pop culture. It's just good business, Judge. It's something people already recognize. It's something that's kind of humorous. And this is one of the shirts, Judge, I have for you to see. This was a new shirt after Make America Slime Again off of the Trump logo or slogan. Now there was Keep America Slime. So all it is, Judge, is these hats and shirts that took the Trump merchandise, replaced it with this word slime,
That's
which
promoting,
is not
that they're
always
saying is
criminal.
promoting the
And
game.
like every word, and especially that word, it's context dependent. It's like the word dude. It depends who's saying it, when are they saying it, who are they saying it to, why.
That's a good
You could be my dude, you could step on my shoes, and I'd be like, dude, what was that? You know,
It's a
you
good
could be
argument.
that dude. There's
I don't think
so
it's gonna
many
win,
things.
but it's a good
Slime
argument.
on its own means nothing because it can mean so many things depending on the context. So that's all he's doing, Judge. He's making these clothes. He sees a business opportunity. He's friends with Mr. Wunny Lee, who's the creator of the hip hop persona Slime Life Shorty. And as his friend, he becomes his personal assistant to make sure he gets to music videos on time, stuff like that. He's actually paid by the label that's not even YSL. And then, Judge, he's using the proximity to celebrity to take advantage of just attention, which is a top commodity these days, name recognition, product placement, to have his hoodies and his shirts in these music videos worn by these artists is a way to make money. And he's born and actually raised on Cleveland. It's not just a tattoo. He's raised on Cleveland Avenue. His dad's also an entrepreneur. They call that area Little Haiti because there's not a lot around, so you have to be an entrepreneur. So here we have a young man, college educated, never been arrested for a felony, and he's making his clothes, and instead of sitting there and maybe, selling them on the street next to the people, doing the lamb chops or selling the Powerades, he has this brilliant idea to go on tour with Mr. Wunny Lee and sell to like fish in a barrel these suburban kids that go to these concerts. And I can proffer a judge as an officer to the court. I remember what that environment was like, back in 2008, going to University of Michigan, go to the Kid Cudi concert, buy the t-shirt. And I almost want to say that I do remember there was a shirt where they had Kid Cudi as the Obama campaign thing at the time. So similar to what's going on here, Judge. It's like a deja vu. And so I admire Mr. Farley. He's very smart. He's well educated, and he found an opportunity to make this clothing. And then the state, because he's wearing this shirt that says slime or die, again, a play on words, if Your Honor remembers the Get Out the Vote campaign, vote or die. I think it might have been P. Diddy or some people at the time were pushing that. Again, Judge, just artistic play on words, proximity to other artists who are in music instead of clothing, and that's all this is, Judge. So on the Ayala factors, he hasn't ever threatened to tamper with any witnesses whatsoever. He's barely in any of the discovery. That's 5 terabytes. It's not even everything, but he's barely in it, Judge. He pops up on the scene because he returns home after going to college instead of going out of state. And, I admire him for that. He's a family-oriented person. He has a child. The mother of his child helps him with the clothing company, Your Honor. And his father still stays there in the barbershop on Cleveland Avenue. And so I just don't see now with having the discovery and knowing more about the clothing line, how we can deny Mr. Farley's bond. He can't be considered any risk, let alone a significant risk of reoffending. He's never even been accused of a felony besides this. And the warrant affidavit itself, to this day, along with the discovery, alleges no assistance or any of the other 5 ways that you can commit a pardon to a crime. It should be in the principle. It does not say that. It just says that he was driven somewhere by Marvius, gets out of the back seat, gets back in the back seat, and then the car is behind a car that's alleged to be involved in a shooting, and we don't even know the circumstances of that shooting. It doesn't even seem planned. It doesn't seem to be connected to anyone the way the other murders are alleged to be connected, Judge. And so he can't be considered a significant risk to reoffend. He can't be considered a danger to the community. He's college educated with no criminal history. He can't be considered a flight risk. He's cooperative the entire time. He is arrested without incident, without flight, no attempts of flight. He's had his communications monitored this entire time. I know that the Fulton jail even has voice recognition that knows when people are using other people's phones. It's not anything like that either. And so, Your Honor, the state does allege that he's present at a public forum, a public hearing with Mr. Fani Lee at some point. But again, Judge, he's his personal assistant. And all that the discovery alleges is that Mr. Farley told him where the courtroom was. There's no threatening, there's no witness intimidation, Judge. His communication has been monitored this entire time at the jail, and he just can't be considered a risk for any of the IL factors. And so, Your Honor, we just asked for the bond to be set in a reasonable amount, given the severity of the charges, to add some harsh conditions. I propose for the court a bond of $100,000, that he stay at the address that we provided to the court at the prior hearing, 2894 Browns Mill Road in Atlanta, Georgia, zip code 30354, and that we put him under the highest pretrial level of supervision and a 24/7 house arrest, and even take away his internet access. He can conduct his business through assistance without having to actually access the internet himself, Judge. That way, there can't be any worry about him contacting any witnesses or anything like that.
Yeah, but
And so, Judge, I do want to call Miss Patricia Ford very briefly to say a few words about Miles. She's his high school principal. She knows him very intimately over several years, and she can speak as well to the IL factors, Your Honor. So I would want to briefly call her and then allow the state to respond.
All right, Ms. Ford, can you unmute yourself, please? Ms. Ford, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, good afternoon.
Madam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You're gonna have to speak up just a little bit. I'm gonna administer an oath to you, okay?
Okay.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm the evidence you'll give in the matter now in hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God or so affirm?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you put your hand down, and you have to speak up. Use your outside voice.
So my name is Patricia Ford. I was Miles' principal for 4 years. Miles, he was my student. He was like my son. Everyone knew Miles was my student. And if Miles didn't do his homework or he just didn't do anything on task academically,
That's crazy.
they would bring Miles to me and I would just address Miles like he was my child. Everyone knows the love that I have for Miles. He performed well academically. He's a short kid by stature, but just a mighty soul and a mighty person. A lovable young man who went off to do great things after leaving South Atlanta High School. And so, as a school, we all know Miles. We love Miles, and have just been taken aback by what he's being accused of, just because of his disposition and demeanor that he portrayed and demonstrated while at South Atlanta. Never got into any trouble while at South Atlanta. He may have gotten into something his senior year for horse playing. He is known for just being a jokester and horse playing at school, but getting into fights never happened at South Atlanta High School. Not in my 4 years of knowing him. Just an overall good kid.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And just to be clear, you were the principal. Was Miles ever accused of any kind of misconduct or suspended from school or anything like that, besides the horseplay that you mentioned?
No, not at all.
Okay. And did you stay in touch with Miles after you graduated?
Yes, we did. He would come by the school when he was on vacation from school. He would always talk to another staff member at school, and I would keep up with him through hierarchy.
Okay, and as a principal, do you sometimes have a sense when you're observing these students in their formative years, which students might get into trouble in the future and which you feel like, no way, that's gonna happen? And which of those buckets did Mr. Miles Farley fall into? Your discretion as a principal?
This would be the one that would never get in trouble because of his home bringing by his parents. He was just like a good kid, like we would say, just raised the right way. So just knowing that he's caught up in this is just taking many of us aback at the school who are still there, who knows the house.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And then if he requires any of your assistance while he's being supervised and released on bond, would you be there for him to support?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ford. Those are all my questions.
Do you have any questions of Ms. Ford? Okay, all right, Ms. Ford, thank you very much. I'm gonna put you back on mute. You can be excused to go back to your usual duties and application, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you much, ma'am.
Your Honor, that's all I have at this time, except for a brief opportunity to respond to anything that the state might say.
Okay, what says the state? Go ahead, Mr. Gary.
I'll just do it from here.
You can sit or stand, sir, whatever your pleasure. I know we've been here a while, and it's about time we take a break, so.
No problem. Judge, contrary to what counsel just indicated, there is actually nothing new from the bond hearing from the 25-23, Judge. On that date, and what counsel wanted to do was argue the sufficiency of the evidence at trial, which isn't getting out what the bond is about. Understanding he's presumed innocent, but we have the evidence, we've got the videos, we've got all the evidence there. Further, if we want to talk about the evidence respectfully, Mr. Farley instructed his girlfriend and or baby mother to dispose of a phone and dispose of a gun before we could get there. She didn't, we died. So that's there. We've got Instagram posts by Mr. Farley basically saying forever homicide. Now, that's not a clothing, that's in line with YSL gang, with other gang members. You know, he's got the tattoos. He can't hang around YSLs and falsely claim. He's got the tattoos and he's hanging with other YSL members. So he's not falsely represented. He's in the video. He wants to say he's Mr. Lee's assistant. He's in the video throwing gang signs, armed with a weapon. I'm not sure if that's in his job description as an assistant. He is seen numerous times on Cleveland. They say he's raised on Cleveland. Raised on Cleveland is the name of the predecessor gang to YSL. That is a street gang. And people want to just say, oh, I was raised on Cleveland. That's a gang identifier, Judge. Slowing that, he might be the first criminal to try to make $1. Judge, the fact that he might have a clothing line on theirs, and I will say that for Mr. Williams also. Mr. Williams has made an interview that stated the gang pre-existed the record label. It pre-existed the clothing line. That's a recorded statement by him. So anything that's marketing after that is an opportunity. I'm not saying they're not taking advantage of that. That doesn't mean they're not committing the original crimes. So just the fact that he is trying to make money off of selling something that is gang-related, that has got nothing to do whether with community defense. And I say this kind of left-handed respectfully. I know counsel didn't make an admission here, but he states the recording does show he's there on the scene at the time of the murder. It does.
Wow.
And it shows a lot more than that, Judge. He characterized the recordings. It's going to be for the jury to determine that. Judge, this is basically the same thing was presented to you on 523. You found that there's no reason, there's no evidence presented to change that ruling, Judge. Yes, or no?
Okay, all right.
Yes, Your Honor.
You got a minute?
Yes, just a minute, Judge. I agree with a lot of what the state said. Yeah, making a clothing line and using artistic content doesn't connect you to crime and make you a criminal. Just like wearing a Scarface shirt or a Godfather shirt doesn't make you part of the mafia. It's art. What Mr. Williams is making is art. It's spread all over the world, and now Mr. Farley is a bystander, Judge. What the state didn't correct was that, yeah, he's on the BP video, not doing the things that the state proffered he was doing at the original bond hearing, Your Honor. We didn't have any of the discovery at that time. And this hashtag YSL, I mean, the word slime isn't even originated in Atlanta, Your Honor, as far as I know. I went around on the internet a little bit. There's a mixtape by VOD up in New York in 2009. It's called Slime Flu 2. And that predates a lot of this. So I think they're trying to
He just
take
messed up.
advantage of this cultural term. Again,
Because
slime or
they're
die.
gonna try to say that
It's just a play on
slime
words
is
from
a
vote or
gang
die,
and
Your
they're part
Honor,
of.
and it has nothing to do with whether or not someone's committed a crime.
They're gonna try to say slime is a gang and they're part of a certain gang. Now, if that gang
has
that they're
not
saying
proffered
they're part
anything
of
beyond mere
is in New York
presence and
City,
mere
he
association.
just fucked up.
The Forever Homicide, Your Honor, that's a song by Mr. Wani Lee, performed by the character Slime Life Shorty, where it's a play on words of homicide and homicide. I'm always by my homie's side, and it's just a little play on words with the word homicide. Mr. Farley, you heard from his principal, has never even been violent at school. Gang behavior begins sometimes at 12 years old, 13 years old. This is so out of the ordinary as an allegation. Who joins a gang when they're 24 years old and never even got in a fight at school, and yet they're a homicidal person that can't even get a bond when they're presumed innocent? So, Your Honor, this YSL has been hashtagged over 21 million times all time in Instagram. And so because Mr. Farley has a page that also has T.I. and Future on it, wearing his hats in addition to Mr. Williams, it's just not, there's still nothing now that we have the discovery, and now we also have an actual live witness, Ms. Ford, to correct the misstatements of the state in the prior bond hearing. And it's clear now that Mr. Farley is not a significant risk in any of the IL factors, and there are ways to mitigate these baseless allegations of witness tampering that he has nothing to do with and has been reported all this time. And if they have his phones and they have these incriminating things, and yet that's all they can still proffer, Your Honor, he definitely deserves a bond. It's just the conditions are an issue now, and we're willing to submit to any conditions from this court whatsoever, Your Honor.
Leaked to the internet.
Thank you, sir.
So even if they were gonna let somebody go, they might not, just off the basis of that.
All right, Mr. Menendez and Mr. Geary and Mr. Farley. I've had an opportunity to reconsider the what has been proffered in this particular from the 523 hearing in this case. Mr. Menendez, I don't find any change in circumstances. I do agree with the state in this particular situation. At a minimum, your client still poses a threat to persons and property in the community and poses a threat to intimidate witnesses or otherwise obstruct administration of justice. So I'm going to deny bond at this point in time. He's still on trial for the 9th of January of 2023. And if you file any other motions, let me know, and we'll go ahead and hear those expeditiously, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Good to see you.
Can we remain since we've got counsel?
Yes, Mr. Farley and Mr. Menendez, since you are here and the new indictment has in fact come out, Mr. Menendez, would you like to go ahead and have me arraign your client on the re-indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine. I went ahead and filed a packet of consolidated motions, and all I can think of now is that in light of the bond denial, I do intend to join in Mr. Steele's speedy trial motion.
We'll file it, and we will move on it accordingly. But in terms of the indictment, 22 SC 183572, is it your desire to waive formal arraignment on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your
Otherwise,
Honor.
have the court enter a not guilty plea on behalf of your client, and for you to have at least 10 days upon the receipt of discovery to file any motions.
Yes, Judge, we waive formal arraignment, plead not guilty, and we would ask that in light of the massive amount of discovery and the several co-defendants that we be allowed 60 days till after the completion of discovery to particularize or file any.
I'll give you 30.
Okay.
Because I'm still planning on moving on this case on the 9th of January. So, and I believe you've been given some discovery already, correct? So this is just the updated discovery. They just re-indicted to, for other reasons, but I'll give you 30 additional days, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right. Then, and then it'll remain on the 9 January 2023 calendar, okay?
Understood.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right, okay. All right, Mr. Farley, you can be excused at this point in time, sir. Thank you. No, unless he has any other motions that have been filed, no.
I'll let the court know, Your Honor.
We still waiting for Gunner.
Severed, but I'll just keep the court updated with.
They didn't do Gunner yet.
Motion, let Mr. Chamberlain know, and we.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do Gunner last, because they know once they finish with Gunner, everybody leave.
8th or some other date, okay?
Once they finish with Gunner and Thug, and they did Thug already. Also, this gives Gunner and Thug the opportunity to be outside of their enclosure for a little while.
All right, let's see who else we have left.
You don't know how I feel when you're on the island and you
That
get
needs to at least profit at this point in
feel
time.
good.
I believe that we have,
Yo, I might
let's
get might let me
see.
go today.
Miss Alana, can you tell me who's in N506?
One moment, Your Honor.
Thank you, madam.
Mr. Garland and I both have an afternoon conflict. If we could do our whenever the court's ready for Mr. Kitchens, that would be helpful.
Madam, I'll go ahead and take that up next, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think he's already on the Zoom.
He is. He is.
Your Honor.
Just hang tight, hang tight. And folks, Ms. Nova, I understand you're eager, but I need to take a comfort break. I've been here since the time we came out, and I'm over 50.
Of course.
And so is Mr. Apt and several other people, Mr. Geary. We would all like to take comfort for just a few minutes. So if we could maybe have 10 minutes, that would be great. I think that would probably be appropriate under the circumstances. So I'm going to take 10 minutes. We'll see who's here at that point in time. I'll go ahead and take Mr. Kitchens up at that point, okay?
All right, so we're coming back with Kitchens.
You can be excused, thank you.
Did I just talk that shit up? Did I just talk that shit into existence? Did he act on that shit right as I was saying it? Shout out to that shit. Let's go. Shout out to the judge. Get it together. Shout out to the judge, getting it together. Shout out to the judge, getting it together. I just mentioned that shit. I just said that shit, and nigga immediately went to it. Let's go. It's hot. I want him to hurry up. I want to get out of here, take these clothes off. I gotta find something. We going heavy on Instagram today, so if anybody need Instagram, we going heavy on Instagram, just like yesterday.
Sergio, your audio still is on, by the way.
Sergio Kitchens.
And Jeffrey, I don't believe you're muted either. You're not muted.
They're literally giving them the opportunity to talk. They should just be talking. They could have just talked to one another. They could have just said, yo, what's up, slime? Or slack, or whatever the fuck they say. They would have got them fucked up. But they could have said, yo, Kitchens, how you doing over there? See, I couldn't have been me. You notice everybody was shut. You notice everybody was like this? You notice that? They was gonna let them have a Bible moment. You notice everybody was like this? I'm gonna rewind that shit. We got time? Hold on.
Sergio, your audio still is on.
Good.
Hopefully that works.
Good. That was good. Yeah, lots to look at that, Anna. 199. Yeah.
Sergio, your audio still is on, by the way.
Shout out to Gunna and Thug. Shout out to Gunna and Thug. Yo, they talking to each other. You heard him? He was like, yo, you good? He was like, yo, I'm good. You good? Shout out to Gunna and Thug. Listen.
If you got the cable, I got it.
Good.
Hopefully that works.
Good. That was good. Yeah, lots to look at that, Anna. 199. Yeah.
Sergio, your audio still is on, by the way.
Let's go! Shout out to Sebastian Tucker. Good afternoon, BB and Fam Jack. It's the afternoon already. Let's go! Them niggas is chopping it up, nigga. Them niggas like, yo, you good? That's why I was like, wait, hold on. Let me rewind that shit. They had their viral moment. Shout out to the Atlanta courts. They allowed for them to have their viral moment. This is a show. You heard? This is a show. This is a show. Never forget that. Look, he gotta make sure he gets his they gotta make sure they get their close-ups. Look, they coming to get their close-ups. Look. Did I rewind that far enough? I didn't rewind that far enough. Look, they coming to get their close-ups. Look. Remember that this nigga's lawyer, what's his dude name? Johnny Depp's lawyer is famous as shit now. Look at dude, watch him. He coming to get his close up. Look, he coming to get his. Look where they got the camera at, where you have the ingress and egress point. They got it at the ingress egress point. They got it at the entrance exit. Let's fast forward to see if they back in.
Yeah, I was having them reschedule it. Okay.
They talking to him again. Hold on.
Nah, I was about to visit with you. Christian. Yes. Can you tell my family to before they visit?
Don't say anything. I don't want anything you say to be recorded. Everything you say out of context. So I don't even say to my family.
Good lawyer.
Nah, I was about to visit with you.
Huh?
It was about to visit with you.
Oh, okay. Let me I'll do a video call in our house.
Yeah, I was having them reschedule it. Okay.
Shout out to Gunna. Shout out to Young Thug recognizing the moment. Shout out to Young Thug recognizing them. This is television, y'all. This is television. I'm telling you. This is how the courts are seeing this shit. Notice she told him not to stop. She wanted him to stop talking right there. Before they didn't say nothing.
Yeah, I can see you. I was telling you just tell my family to rebook the visit. But
He wants to shout his family out. Shout out to Thug. He just shouted his family out. Hold on, Shorty got a little bit of curves on. God damn, my goodness. This shit. The shit slipped. That shit might have a little curve over there. Can I zoom in over this? I cannot zoom in over this. But I made it look like that, so that looked like a little bit better zooming in. Anyway, yo, the Johnny Depp lawyer, she's super famous now. You don't think all of these motherfuckers don't want that opportunity? She's super famous. She could write her own check, yo. Write her own ticket, however that saying goes. Also, we playing 2K again tonight after the Tonight Show. 2K again tonight after the Tonight Show. Caught up yet? Come on, where the judge at? The judge taking a shit. I don't know what the judge is doing. I'm just making jokes. Judge is in the back, they knocking. He like, I'm trying to pinch one out. Get out of here. Shout out to the judge. He made a good recovery. Let them do the kitchen shit now. Because don't wait all the way to the end like last time. I'm pretty sure people were complaining about that because that last one was stupid long. They made people wait all the way to the 6 or 7 o'clock. Don't nobody want to do that. Knowing the peak. Right? Knowing the peak. And then you peak and then you allow for there to be an unwinding. Where you are exulting in the euphoria of the accomplishment of the story. And then you're just appreciating the rest of the story. I ate and got hot. This shit is retarded. The judge had too much in it. He might have. He was hanging out with academics. Academics was like, come on, judge, tell me what's happening. Judge was like, you still got the Selena Powell girl's number? I miss out on opportunities sometimes because I'm naive. I'm going to tell y'all about a thing. So this Instagram model walked up to me when I was still living in Manhattan and said hi. And I didn't know she was saying hi to me and I didn't recognize her at the moment. And I said, oh, my fault. I thought I was in her way because I was standing in front of her door. She might have been trying to pick me up hard body. I just didn't recognize her. I was outside dribbling. I thought I was in the way. And I didn't even realize she wasn't even going into the building until after she never went into the building and walked off. And so I think about that day. I'm like, she was a cutie too. Some light-skinned girl. She was a cutie. I'm not going to say who. She was a cutie too. That's why I'm like, nah, my nigga, you can never tell me I'm an ugly nigga. We ain't doing that. We is not doing that. And you can't tell me I don't got no swag. We're not doing that neither. You're not doing that neither. Okay, Patreon, I'll do a research thing with you today. Is the fucking mic muted or are they just not doing nothing? What the fuck, yo? the judge went to the back. They probably told him all of his mistakes. He was like, "Hey, yo, judge, you're fucking up out there." They giving him that he's sitting down in the corner like this, like he boxing and shit. They call him and shit. You got the guy with the thing on his neck. He got the cut guy on him like this. He's like, "Yo, judge, man, you're losing it out there." He's like, I'm trying. Just like, cut me. I don't know. She's trying to get her time. Yeah, I'm with too though. I'd be right in front of the camera too. Ain't gonna lie to you. Nah, I probably wouldn't. Okay, Charlie Green Carly. How you doing? Could have just said came in and said you was Carly. You could have just came in and just been. Oh, cause I be shooting at niggas dumb quick. Hey, how you doing? Tell Team Inky I said what's up. How's he doing? I was gonna repost something for him yesterday. I saw him with one of his acolytes. You know how to get in contact with me? I got an Instagram. You know how to get in contact with me. If you want to get in contact with me, you can get in contact with me. Tell him to hit me on Instagram. Copy? I don't believe you know him. He wouldn't tell you to come on here and say this to me publicly. I don't know you. And he's known me for over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. There's no way in the world he'd think I'm going to take you seriously. There's no way in the world. So you don't even know him. Why are you trying to get my number for? Ask him a question. He watching? Whose sister I used to date on the east side? Oh, wow. Can't really narrow that down. I dated a couple of people's sisters. Which old sister I used to date? He'll know what that means. Oh, shit! That is Inky! Shout out over there! Oh, shit! What are you doing? You know my Instagram. What are you doing coming over here? You know I'm not gonna give nobody my number publicly. Nigga, hit me on Instagram. What the fuck are you doing? Chris O, yeah, I was dating his sister. That's a fact. She was such a sweetheart. What the fuck are you doing? After the show, why is he trying to call in right now? I don't know what you're trying to do. His Instagram isn't available. I don't understand why you can't. I don't understand what you're talking about. Hold on. I'm doing the show right now. You gotta. Hold on. What the fuck? I don't think I can open up both of these apps without making my phone go crazy. You gotta have to wait. You gotta have to wait until after the show. Yeah, I can't open up both of these apps without my phone going. I don't know what's up. You gotta have to wait till after the show. Yeah, Chris, that's a shot. That's a fact. Shout out to her. I don't even know how that became my girlfriend. We were just hanging out, and then the next thing I know, that was what it was. I got a lot, but that's how I usually. It's not just how you had girlfriends back in the day. You like some chick, you go hang out with her, and then y'all just hang out together all the time. You picking me up in the morning? Yeah, I'm gonna be here. What the fuck you talking about? I gotta make sure the mama niggas ain't next to you. The fuck? Hell yeah. What the hell you talking about? I hit you after the show. Give me this afternoon, I hit you. Like, yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, Chris O's. It's a fact. I was gonna say, but I don't know. I wasn't gonna, because I didn't want you to say nobody's specific name. So that's why I said somebody's sister. Oh, what was that? The next thing I was gonna say was, who's the little dark skinned girl I used to mess with in 800. That's the next thing I was gonna say. Did I date all of their friends? I didn't leave the block much. Like I left the block. Like when I left the block, I was done for. But like I really hung out like in the block a lot. They had quite a few little. Thinking about it, I had quite a few little girlfriends out there. Shout out to them. I dated like 3 of them. But not the one that I wanted. All of them I wanted. I'm not want to talk about this shit. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Why did I stop dating her? She was a super cutie. Yep, brown skin, short, chunky brown skin girls. That's just what I like. It's just, I mean, there's no getting around it. Big bottom brown skin girls. I mean, big bottom girls just in general. Just in general. just in general. Big bottom girls. Remember the 2 chicks we used to mess with in 800? And 800 on the concourse. I had a busy fucking, all of us. We had a busy fucking teenage years. Like these niggas nowadays, like we was busy. Like they was niggas we was growing up with that didn't have no life. You understand what I'm saying? But we was busy, my nigga. Like we was really busy. Like even the OGs, like our older next generation, them niggas was busy. Them niggas was out there trying to get record deals and everything and hustling and shit. Like we was busy. For real, for real. Like we is this nothing. Like we don't come from no lazy stock, yo. None. Like none of our stock is lazy. I might be not as motivated as I usually am, but none of our stock is lazy, yo. For real, for real. We don't come from no lazy stock, yo. Then your pops have like 20 jobs? That nigga was a whole African. I mean Jamaican or African, which one. That nigga had like 20 jobs. And work for the city. Niggas come from good stock, man. Niggas had whole regular jobs and still had hustles. And we talking about back in the 80s and the 90s. Niggas had whole regular jobs and still had hustles. Then you got the rest of the world just getting up on that shit now. I remember Pam friend wanted me to bang her so bad, and I just hated her guts. So I never did. The skinny girl, yeah, I just really just didn't like her. She was just so annoying all the time. She was just so annoying all the time. I think I almost banged her one time, and then I was just like, nah, man, this bitch is just too annoying. She wanted me to smash, though. Like I really got it. I think I am. I might. Yeah, it might be something with me. I'd be turning around pussy. I'd be turning down pussy. And apparently, men aren't supposed to be doing that. So, go figure. I did almost smash. That's a fact. And then I never tried again. I was like, that was a bad idea. They had fallen out over some bullshit. I don't know what it was, by the way. I just assumed it's some bullshit. Usually when people have a falling out, it's over some bullshit. Yo, what the fuck is up with this judge, yo? Everybody ready. He said 10 minutes. Is he on black people time? Maybe he on Joe Biden time. He don't know what 10 minutes mean. He expects to be back here Wednesday. Yo, man, they got some more shit out there about Joe Biden, man. Yo, man, that nigga, yo, Joe Biden, I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to make fun of him. But it's obvious that man is, his mental faculties is not there, like, at this point. Like, the people that's propping him up, I'm sorry, we shouldn't be, like, I don't want to. It's feeling to me like I'm getting, what's the name of that show? Yes. I'm getting, what's the name of that show? I'm getting Weekend at Barney vibes. I'm getting Weekend at Barney vibes, man. I'm keeping it a stack. I'm getting Weekend at Barney vibes, man. He could put his jacket on, man. What the fuck? Not only that, loud noises was distracting him and startling him. He was looking around like he didn't know what the fuck was going on when they started clapping. I ain't got time for this. I hate when I gotta back all the way out and come back in. Yeah, I ain't got time for this. Good to know that the speaker was working and the judge really just ain't there. Trying to get this shit to turn back sideways. I hate when this happens. Like, we got the damn thing. Do I got the rotation off or some shit? What the fuck, yo? There's a rotating thing. Smart review, right? The fuck is, what is going on now? Other phone, no, that's absolutely y'all know I like this girl with her big hips. Like them big hip girls. Like them big hip girls. All of the big hips. I don't know how good she could dance or whatever. She all married and shit. Just so y'all know, I'm not trying to pick her up. Like them big hips. Like them hips. I think she's married. I just assume every female on this fucking platform has a man and they're married. There's no way. I be like, first of all, if when you got on there you wasn't with somebody, know how many thirsty rat bastards have hit you up before I even saw you? What we talking about? Oh yeah, so Kanye West was selling clothes in out of a garbage bag? Man, that guy just does anything. Shout out to him. I'm supposed to be hey, Inky, right? Ooh, I haven't spoken to her in a while. I'm gonna say hey. I'm supposed to be hey, Inky, right? What the fuck? What the fuck can I see him for? I hope I ain't blocked my fam. That's he's like, yo, I need your phone number. I might have blocked him, man. I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes I just be like, you know what? I'm done with everything. Everybody getting hit with all of the blacks. I know I didn't block him because I saw him on my page. Here you go right here. Why the fuck can't I find this page? Yeah. Boom. Sugar is the #1 cause of violent crime in America. You know what? I'm not even going to disapprove with that. I think that sugar makes us go on trips. Either lack of sugar or too much sugar, or being a person who usually has too much sugar and then the lack of sugar. Alright, that's it, right? What the fuck is up with this court? Yo, I'm about to get ready to go. Oh, I think he's in court. He just came back. What the fuck, yo? Judge, you said 10 minutes.
Yes, you may, of course, if you like. And I'll see you on the 8th. You got an in-court notice, and we'll send you out also a formal notice as well. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Madam, hold on a second.
Yo, Inky, I sent Inky the message.
All right, Ms. Novak, I have your client's waiver. I'm going to mark it as court 2. What were you going to tell me?
Actually, I think statements under that.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, our position, because Mr. Winfrey is not in custody, and that's the only conflict we've identified with Mr. Sato. Once we have this, if Mr. Kitchens does decide to go ahead and waive that conflict, we would not have any further concerns about disqualification of Mr. Sato beyond Mr. Kitchens' waiver, as Mr. Winfrey is not in custody at that time.
Like I said, I'm not going to deal with Mr. Winfrey today because he's not represented. So, okay, that's fine. Ms. Novak, you still want me to go through the waiver with Mr. Kitchens?
I think we should.
I think we should as well, too. All right, Mr. Kitchens, let's see if we can unmute you. All right, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, can I get you to raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm the evidence you'll give in the case now and here and speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, so affirm. One more time? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, Mr. Kitchens, I am holding a document which is entitled Conflict Waiver. Okay, I just want to go through that with you briefly, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. It starts out with your name. It says, my name is Sergio Kitchens. I'm a defendant in Fulton County Superior Court, case number 22 SC 18227-3, which has been re-indicted under 22 SC 183572. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at the both indictments, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. And this is a RICO case with 28 defendants, including Mr. Winfrey. We're not going to talk about Mr. Winfrey today, but you do understand that, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You're represented by Mr. Sadow, Mr. Samuel, Mr. Garland, and Ms. Nove. Is that your understanding? Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. And it is your understanding that in late 2015, that Mr. Winfrey hired Mr. Sadow in Cobb County Superior Court case number 15-9-276528 to appeal his case to the Georgia Court of Appeals and then the Georgia Supreme Court. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And this is in the conflict waiver I'm holding up right here, and it bears your signature on the second page, and the witness is Ms. Nove. This is the document I'm reading from. So did you have an opportunity to take a look at this document and sign this document?
Yes, I did.
It would have been dated the 10th of June of this year. So it is, I'm holding up the documents that's been submitted to the court. So that's the document I'm referring, okay? As Court 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. The Supreme Court reversed his conviction in Winfrey versus the state 304 Georgia 94. And that's further been cited at 816 Southeast 2nd 456 2018. And then Mr. Sadow then represented Mr. Winfrey in Cobb County where his offered plea was entered. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. It further goes on, your waiver further goes on to say that Mr. Sadow continued to represent you in this RICO case that's here in Fulton County after and under the 2 indictment numbers that the court has already referenced. So you've spoken to Ms. Nove and discussed the types of potential conflicts that could come up with a lawyer who previously represents a defendant who later represents another defendant in a case in which both are co-defendants. So did you have an opportunity to speak with her to your satisfaction on that issue?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. The waiver also further enumerates 6 points. The first one is the state could offer to dismiss the case against one defendant, reduce the charges, or agree to a lower punishment if that co-defendant would testify against the other. You understand that?
I can't do any of that at the moment.
You also understand number 2, that a witness might say something
of that while I'm doing my show.
might come in helpful to one co-defendant but harmful to the other. She talked with you about that, correct?
Yes.
All right, number 3. The lawyer may want to use a defense theory, witness, evidence, or argument that is helpful to the lawyer's current client but harmful to the lawyer's former client. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
4, during closing argument, the lawyer may want to argue that the evidence against his current client is less than evidence against the former client. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then number 5, if there's sentencing, the lawyer may want to argue that his current client is less culpable than his former client. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then number 6, the lawyer may have learned something from the former client that helps the current client but hurts the former client. You understand that?
Yes, sir. I understand, Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Nove went over examples of how these potential conflicts might come up in this case. Is that correct with you? Mr. Kitchens, are you there? I froze up, I think. Oh, he's back. Okay. All right, Mr. Kitchens, what was the last? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What was the last thing you heard me say? I couldn't hear. I can't hear you, sir.
I didn't hear what you said.
All right, let me go over this last part here. The last thing I said was that Ms. Nove, did she go over examples of how these possible conflicts, the ones that I've enumerated in 1 through 6 on your waiver, might come up in this case? Did she talk with you about those and give you some examples?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Your waiver goes on to say that you understand these potential conflicts. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, but you are certain that no actual conflict exists, and that no actual conflict will ever exist. And that's your understanding. All right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. Do you fully understand what Ms. Nove explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor. I fully understand.
Okay. Do you understand you have the right to select a different lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
However, you don't want you don't want a different lawyer. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You want Mr. Sadow to fight for your innocence and freedom. Is that right? That's what it says in the waiver. He's back. Okay. The last thing I said, sir, was you choose Mr. Sadow to fight for your innocence and freedom. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct.
All right, and you waive any potential conflict and ask that the court preserve your right to choose the lawyer who you want to protect you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And you make this statement voluntarily, knowingly, and freely in the presence of Ms. Nove. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, and you declare under the penalty of perjury that the foregoing waiver is true and correct. Is that right? Did you hear the last thing I said, Mr. Kitchens?
I heard declare.
You heard me? Okay, so you declare under the penalty of perjury that the foregoing waiver is true and correct. Correct? Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Do you offer this statement freely?
Yes.
Did anyone force, trick, or otherwise cajole you into entering this way?
No, the statement is him saying that he is going to, that there's no, he don't have no problem with the lawyers. That's the statement.
Yes, I heard you, Your Honor.
Let me go through this one more time. Do you offer this statement freely and voluntarily? No one otherwise forced or tricked you or in entering this waiver. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Why this whole time they keep asking him that? Does the fucking audio and the video keep going out? The communications keep going out? The internet keep going out? This whole entire time you're asking him this. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. Anything else, Ms. Nove or Mr. Gary? I did already.
I missed it, that's my typo.
Okay, no problem. No worry. Okay, anything else? Anything else is in terms of the waiver? Okay, all right. Any questions on behalf of the state or anything that you want me to inquire about?
Nothing from Mr. Your Honor. We believe that satisfies any conflict from Mr. Sadow. And should Mr. Winfrey be captured, we would just ask the court to fire him at that time.
Yeah, I'll inquire about Mr. Winfrey when he becomes within the breast of and jurisdiction of the court. Mr. Kitchens, I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Sadow continue to represent you, understanding that in the future, if a conflict does arise, you are welcome to raise that to the court, or if I see it, I may raise it on my own motion or depending upon the circumstances in this case, okay? I think he's still frozen.
He said, he tried to say it, okay.
All right, Mr. Kitchens, did you hear the last thing?
Your Honor. I heard what you said. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Anything else in regards to Mr. Kitchens? Can we rearrange him? Okay, all right, okay. Mr. Garland, would you like to otherwise arraign your client on the new indictment, that being 22 SC 183572?
We'd like to address that now and waive formal arraignment.
Okay, I will authorize for you to waive formal arraignment. I'll enter a not guilty plea on behalf of your client. I'll otherwise give you 10 days upon the receipt of new discovery to file any other additional motions. Do you have any other issues, sir?
If we got 30, Your Honor.
30. Okay, 30.
It's because you like me so much.
Okay, all right, anything else? I got a mask on, thankfully. All right, okay, anything else?
And I think we worked with the state, where they've got our hard drive, so we'll get the remainder of the stuff.
Do you have any other motions outstanding that need to be heard on the 8th of September, madam?
Not this time.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure. All right, okay, all right. Unless you have anything else, then I will excuse Mr. Kitchens and excuse you all, councils, and thank you for your patience, okay?
Thank you.
All right, okay, cool. All right.
All right, so that's all we got on that. It's going on 1 o'clock. I'm about to let y'all go. I guess we're gonna be talking about this a little bit more tonight. I guess we're gonna be talking about this a little bit more tonight. Maybe going live in the middle of the day today. I'm thinking about doing some YouTubing, maybe some video gaming in the middle of the day. Also, I'm looking for a Pro-Am team. We're trying to get a Pro-Am rec team together. Right now, we're on 2021, but we're going to move to 2022. So we're trying to get a Pro-Am rec team together. I'm trying to find some people to ball with. So hit me up. Let me know what's going on. And if you liked any part of this show at all, you can always hit the like button. You can pull up to the Cash App, Super Chat. We have a BBN shop down there. You can also pull up to that. You know, if you just like anything, we just got like an Amazon wish list or whatever the fuck. So anyway, go out there. We're going to have a great day today. I'm going to have a great day. You're going to have a great day. We're going to do great things. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag postponements. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.